these strange and supernatural events. Sit back, listen, and enjoy. Welcome to the Paranormal Journal podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Paranormal Journal podcast. It's Friday night, and we are live with Tom Muller and Eric Freeman Sims from
Hey, everybody.
the Paranormal podcast.
What's up?
What's going on, fellas?
Not too much. How you doing?
Survived the snow.
Yeah, I hear you. We rarely ever get snow in Tennessee. We might get snow once a year, but it's usually like half an inch at most. No, we just got dumped 8 inches.
Wow.
Of snow.
Oh, wow.
And then we just had a small ice storm come through that was mixed precipitation that froze into ice on the road last night. So this week has been a clusterfuck in Tennessee because nobody knows how to drive in the shit because we're not used to it, let alone 8 inches of snow. And then you throw ice on top of that. So Tennessee's been shut down, especially Middle Tennessee, all week. So since last Saturday is when the snow fell. So
wow.
Yeah. So I've been a hermit in my house. I've only left the house a couple of times.
It sucks, man. I left my house at like 2 o'clock this morning. It was like 2:45 to go to work, and it wasn't snowing. But when I started getting down toward my work, it started snowing. Then like my whole company called out. I was like, oh man, yeah, it sucked. And we as the managers, we have to stay there. So we were there till like 11, 12 o'clock, and then we had to venture home in that bullshit. I was like, oh man, this sucks. Man. Thank God it's Friday.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank God it's Friday.
Just to let you know, I didn't know I could do this because StreamYard just updated all their stuff. It's actually letting me stream live on my stuff at the same time.
Oh wow,
that's cool.
I'm streaming live on my Facebook and my YouTube. So,
awesome. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
So
it just asked me, "Do you want to stream live as well?" Okay.
Yeah, that's
sweet.
Yeah.
So we could get comments from my audience too. So.
Oh,
sweet.
Cool.
That'd be great.
So, what do you got going on, Eric?
I've been working really hard on the new podcast, and the Unseen Paranormal is still going too, and I put out episodes every week. But been working my ass off on Strange Chapters, and that's the new one that I do that I narrate. Everybody's always commenting on the voice, so I have partnered up with a bunch of authors, and they've all been amazing. And it's all nonfiction, paranormal, true crime, anything weird and strange, missing persons, time slips, and I narrate 3 stories out of their books. And some of them that are really long, I just do individual episodes because I try to keep the episodes under 25 minutes. And some of them that have shorter stories, I'll do all 3 stories in one episode. So it's up on YouTube and actually has a video element to it. I'm using AI art to create uncopyrighted artwork that go along with the stories. And I put little special effects in there from video. And yeah, it's going really
cool,
well.
Man.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Trying to do something a little unique, but it also helps the authors because I'm advertising their books. So if people like them, they can go, and I put the links in the show notes and I tell people where they can get the books. And so it just helps them out and it gives me content. So it's a, tit for tat kind of thing. And it's going really, really well. So
that's awesome. That's awesome, man.
That's sweet, man. That's really cool.
So you got any investigations coming up soon?
I do. Since last time I talked on your show, I went to Brushy Mountain in Petros, Tennessee. That was the first time I've ever been there. That place is amazing. We had all kind of, I'm still going over evidence, video, and because, of course, we got so much audio and video from there, but we got some crazy EVP stuff. I got some weird pictures in there too that I posted online. I've never caught pictures like this before, and it's with my cell phone camera. And I took multiple pictures in a row, and one of the pictures was me shooting the shots outside the hole. So I'm standing in what they call the hole. It's only 5 cells deep. And I'm shooting out the doorway into this huge room. And the doorway in the 3rd shot in the middle is blurry. But it's not motion blur because you can still see the lines and the bricks on the sides and all around it. But in the middle of the door, in the middle of the picture, in the door frame, it's blurry in the 3rd picture. And then I got this series of pictures, and this is the only picture I took of a stairwell in the segregation block, and the paint is peeling and all that shit. And but I took these 3 pictures in a row down the stairwell, and you can still see the stairs. It almost looks like a time slip because at the landing of the stairs, there's a red ladder and a red platform. And I don't know if that was for like guards to sit up there or what, you know, I don't know what it was for, but it's red, bright red. Well, it like disappears out of the picture and it's still kind of blurry and kind of twisted. It's not like you could get that with motion blur. And I've asked two of my photographers who are really well versed in photography and they couldn't explain it. Either one of the pictures.
Wow.
Weird photo anomalies. And then I had something happen on the audio that I've never had happen before, but it sounds like somebody comes up and taps on the camera.
So we had that happen.
Yeah, we had a static video camera in cell block A on the very bottom floor, and don't see anything in front of it. But you can hear footsteps, and we hear a door slam. There's no door in there that you can slam. For one, in the A block, the first and second tier doors are all closed. So and there's no cell doors that you're going to open or close in there anyway. But you hear a door slam, so I don't know how to explain that. You hear footsteps, and we're in B block, completely different building. But it sounds like somebody walks up to the camera, and you can hear it sounds like somebody tapping on the plastic of the camera.
Yeah.
Like, is this thing
That's
on?
cool.
You know? Yeah.
You know what I noticed about doing audio too. Sometimes you have static recorders laying out. And sometimes it happens when you're holding it. You'll be doing like an EVP session, and you'll get these really sharp ticks in the recorder. I mean, you can feel it in the recorder, like, and there's no moving parts in a digital recorder to make that. And you'll feel it and you'll hear it in the recorder. You're like, and I only have it happen in like places that are allegedly haunted. I've never had it happen anywhere else except for places that were haunted. It's really weird.
Another thing I saw with my own eyes, and I wish that this would have got caught on camera. We're out in the yard of the prison, and there's probably a football field between us and the gymnasium. It's just a huge open, grassy field where they would work out, and that's the yard for the prison. Well, they had picnic tables out there, and it's dark as shit because you're in the middle of the mountains. They don't have any of the lights on in the prison. And the lady that was giving us a quick rundown of all the stories and things like that, she was kind of the host with the End of the Line Paranormal. She had a mag light, and so as she was going around telling us about the buildings, she was shining the light to the different buildings. Well, when she shined it from one building to another, the beam of light went across one of the picnic tables really quick, and I saw somebody sitting at the picnic table with my own eyes. But there's nobody sitting there. You know what I'm saying? And I went and told her about it later, and she said they've had other people report that too. So I thought that was interesting. That's something I've seen. I mean, that would have been a full body apparition. It looked like a real man just sitting at the damn picnic table looking at us.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool. Very cool.
So so we caught some cool stuff. I'm excited. We're going back in April, so I'm excited to go for a second time and and see what else we can get.
Yeah, prisons are cool, man. They're really haunted. I remember we did Moundsville. Me and Carl did Moundsville, and man, I was really surprised at the activity in there. I was like, holy shit, this place is really haunted, man.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Brushy Mountain is really neat. They never had a death row there. They sent everybody to Nashville to what they call the Castle, the Tennessee State Prison in Nashville. That's where they all were on death row. The Castle's where they filmed The Green Mile.
Okay.
So, yeah, so that's where death row actually was, and that's where they executed Old Sparky and then the lethal injection. So, but Brushy Mountain still had the worst of the worst. So there were some serial killers in there. James Earl Ray, who supposedly killed Martin Luther King Jr., that's where he was housed. He's the only person to ever successfully escape there. And
really?
Yeah, and Brushy Mountain is in a valley, and there's mountains on both sides. And he managed to escape. And I think it was 7 days later, they found him in the mountains, and he was almost dead from exposure.
Wow.
And so he didn't make it. Yeah, he did not make it very far. He escaped 3 times. But the first two, I think it was the first 2 times they caught him really quickly just outside the walls or whatever. But the third time he was gone for like a week. And he's only certified escape from Brushy Mountain. There was another guy that we learned about. He talked to kitchen staff into packing him into a box. And this dude had to be a contortionist to get into this small box. It was like a 3-foot by 2-foot box or some shit that was in the kitchen. And they put him on a truck. And the truck left the prison. Well, he successfully made it outside the prison. But when he jumped off the back of the truck, he jumped off the back of the truck in front of 2 hunters. And one of the hunters, and they had guns because they were out hunting. One of the hunters was an off-duty cop, was an off-duty police officer. So he automatically raised his rifle up on the guy because the guy was still in prison clothes and took him back to Brushy Mountain.
Yeah, I heard Brushy Mountain was a really violent prison. And that's when I was a correction officer. I heard about Brushy Mountain. I was a correction officer 30 years ago, and it was crazy. I heard about that place, a couple different prisons like in New Mexico and things like that were really violent prisons. They had like a lot of prison riots and shit like that. Yeah. So you gotta think, man, the activity's probably insane because all the stabbings and killings that occurred between inmates, and it's just it's a place for activities.
Another piece of history story that I found interesting. They decided in an administrative part of the prison that was right beside the medical part where they had the medical area. It was just an empty area, and they decided to put a theater in the 80s. The theater lasted exactly 2 years because they figured out, we just put a dark room in for people to slit each other's throats. So there were so many murders in the theater area, it lasted 2 years. Because in the dark, inmates would just come up behind other inmates and just slit their throat. And nobody would know it until the movie was over. Because none of the other inmates are going to holler at the guards because they're enjoying the movie. And this is the only time, they might get to see a movie once a month or something.
Yeah.
And so there's all these murders in the theater area because of that. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. And they had a couple of riots. One of them, some of the white prisoners, I think they bribed a guard to get them a gun, and they went up to a row of cells that were, it was basically a row of cells that was all black prisoners, and they went down the row executing them all. And they skipped the white guy. There was a white guy cell, was like the third cell. They skipped him. And when they went to the fourth cell, the black guy managed to get his mattress up because he figured out what was going on, and he survived. But I think he ended up killing 3 black guys before the guards subdued them and got the gun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like when I worked in the prison system in Maryland. When they first bring you into the prison, they show you all these videos of riots and the aftermath of riots. Well, there was one prison in New Mexico where the inmate, it was probably one of the worst riots between inmates killing inmates. It was wild, man. They showed us videos of the aftermath of all these inmates that killed other inmates. And what happened was they killed all the protective custody inmates, all the ones that were snitches and what happened was they locked themselves in the cells, and the inmates found torches and the cutting torches, and they torched each cell one at a time and killed every inmate that was on protective custody and killed them dude, some of the videos, some of the pictures were horrific, dude. Like they held the torch on people's heads till their heads exploded, dude. Cut them up and impaled them. Dude, it was brutal, man. And what's wild was I seen the same prison on a paranormal show. They were filming a movie there, and the actors experienced all this crazy ass paranormal phenomena in that same prison in New Mexico. I was like, holy shit, that's that same prison that I seen, when I first started in corrections. It was that prison. Wow. And a couple people were seeing like this big black mass in there, like a big, they said it was a big black figure, and it was crazy, man. I believe it. All the deaths that happened there was so many people that were murdered. Even they killed some of the guards too.
Yeah. Brushy, they called it the end of the line, and so the paranormal team that runs the investigations is called End of the Line Paranormal, but which I thought was kind of cool. But they called it Hell on Earth, and they built the building in the shape of an upside down cross because they did this on purpose because they did not want the inmates to think that they were going to find salvation at Brushy Mountain.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? The psychological shit that they were.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man, we just had an interesting case last weekend. It's a really small apartment. It was literally an apartment. There's people that live underneath, and we're like, I don't know if we're gonna get anything, but I'm tell you what, man, we caught some really cool shit on the XLS that it blew my mind, dude. I just caught it like tonight. I was going through video today. When I got home early, I was going through the video of the XLS, and dude, I'm gonna play the clips on here and let you guys see the shit. It is fucking awesome, dude. Awesome
Nice.
evidence. And I contacted the people that made the XLS and asked them if it's some kind of a glitch in the system, and they were like, no. Like what you're showing us is impossible for that to happen unless someone's actually manipulating the system. And I'm like,
Wow.
holy shit, dude! I'm gonna play the video. You're gonna shit. I'll play it right now. Let's play it right now.
Yeah.
I'm excited to show it. So this first clip, right? So me and Carl were sitting in the living room, and I got the XLS sitting on a stand. I always make the XLS static. I don't like moving it around because you can get a lot of false positives with the XLS. So I always put it down, and I sat it down, and I have it shooting toward where they say they see this thing come out of the bathroom, and it kind of peeks around the wall. They're seeing this. What they explain is like a golem looking figure from Lord of the Rings in their house, right? So I'm like, okay. So I set the XLS up, and we're just sitting there on the couch talking for, I don't know, about a half an hour. We're asking some EVP questions and really not getting any responses. So I said, let's go into the bedroom because they have a lot of shit happens in the bedroom too. So we get up, we walk into the bedroom, and the XLS is still sitting static in the living room, just recording. And I'm not shitting you, literally like maybe a minute after we're in the bedroom, the XLS, you can put your finger on the screen. It's a touch screen, and you can pan around the room and get different angles with the LiDAR system. You can move all around. You can look down from the sides, up from the bottom. It's XLS is really a cool ass system. So I was doing that earlier in the night, just sitting on the couch and panning around, seeing what the best angle was going to be. Once I got the best angle, I set it down. So when I'm in that room, in the bedroom, it's just sitting static. And literally like a minute later, something touches the screen and moves the XLS camera up and down. Right?
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, holy shit.
Get the fuck out.
Right? That's the first one. It does it again. This time, on the second clip, it moves the XLS. It pans it around the room like this, back over, and then goes back to almost the same spot where I had it. Like it didn't want us to know it was fucking with the camera. And you're gonna see in the video, there's a pinpoint. When you touch the screen, it makes like a pinpoint, like a crosshair kind of thing.
Right.
That's letting you know where you're touching the screen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It pinpoints on the screen where something's touching the screen, and you see it moving on the screen, and the XLS is moving. It's turning the picture. Dude, it's awesome. Yeah. I'm going to play the first clip right now. It's a short one. The first one's a short one, but the second one is longer. You really get to see how it's moving it. Really cool.
That's awesome.
So here we go. So that's me and Carl. We're walking into the bedroom. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not.
Yeah.
So that's my big ass walking back there. Get ready to go into the bedroom. When I disappear, you're going to see this camera kind of pan up and then pan down. You'll see a little pinpoint. It'll pop up on there too. Did you see that black thing back there? That's weird too. Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were already gone when it popped.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So now watch the camera, the XLS now. Watch. You see it right there?
What the hell?
Now see how it pans up and down?
Yeah.
Something touched the screen and panned up and panned down. That's the only way that works, right?
Right.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's the only way that moves. So that's
awesome.
That clip. Now watch the second one. This is the second one. This is fucking awesome, dude. you're gonna see that pinpoint again. Now we're still in the bedroom. There it is. Look at it moving the
No
camera.
way.
Wow.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
They're trying to
it's
figure
moving the camera, dude.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out your shit. Like what are they doing with this thing?
Look at the pinpoint. That's where it's touching the screen.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
Look at that. It's touching the screen.
Cool.
Yeah, dude.
Now, if that doesn't right there tell you that there's fucking life after death that's intelligent, then nothing will.
Dude.
Well, especially because it goes right back to where it was.
Yeah.
Like you said,
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, we didn't touch anything. Wow.
It's fucking amazing.
That's cool.
Dude.
Yeah,
That's
that is
amazing,
awesome.
dude.
That would I mean, that's akin to like your mouse cursor just moving around the screen on its own without you touching the mouse, you know?
Yeah, dude. And I don't have a cursor. You literally have to touch the screen and move the camera where you want it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is it a glitch? So I contacted the people. I was like, is this a glitch? And they're like, no, something has to physically be touching the tablet to move the camera. And I'm like,
that's so cool.
Fuck yeah, this is. That's what I'm talking about, dude. That's why we do this shit.
Yeah,
that's right,
awesome.
man.
That's why we do this shit. Right there.
Yeah.
That's evidence, man. I'm like, this is cool as shit.
Yeah, it is.
It's so cool. You know what's wild is like when I go into that bedroom, I hear a disembodied voice in that bedroom too. I hear a voice say, help me, like a guy's voice, right? And I look at Rick Carl, I was like, dude, did you just hear a voice? He's like, no, you heard one? I was like, oh yeah, dude, it was a male voice that said, help me. Like plain as day, dude said, help me.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit. And he's like, I said, you didn't hear that? He goes, no. But my other recorder picked it up too. I had a live recorder. I was listening in with the headphones, but then I had a static recorder in the same bedroom, and that caught it too. But Carl didn't hear it. And when I put it on the spectrogram on the audio, it was below 20 hertz, which is below the human hearing range. That's why he didn't hear it. Yeah, when I put it on there, I was like, shit, dude, that's why he didn't hear it. It's below 20 hertz. It's unbelievable, man. That place is super haunted, dude.
It's crazy.
And I was only in there. We only got a limited time in there because the people didn't have anywhere to go. So we were there till like midnight. That was it. And then, they called and said, can we come back? And I was like, yeah. But they said a lot of shit happens at 3 a.m. Like, their kid will wake up. They hear all kinds of shit going on. Place, that's the house where I was showing you the weird ruins and shit. That's the place.
Oh, that was that one. Okay.
That's the place. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
That's the place, Eric.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude, that XLS fucking moves. I'm watching that. I'm like, holy shit. I think this XLS is moving. I've never had that happen ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Yep. The XLS has proven pretty awesome, man. Like I've had 3 different experiences with it, and none of it I can explain. None of it.
Well, and also what I want people to understand is you're not saying SLS, you're saying XLS because it's
XLS,
different.
Yeah.
It does the stick figures, but the XLS is more like a LiDAR system than the SLS is. So the XLS is sending out, scanning thousands, 100,000 times. And so if anything comes in the picture, and you've caught some amazing shit, some, figures coming into it too. So it's not just like the XLS that you see on TV with the stick figures. It's actually doing a whole lot more than that.
Oh yeah, dude.
It maps the room in 3D. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
it's where the other one just does. Yeah, the SLS just does the stick figures and like the different colors on the screen. It doesn't actually map out the room like the XLS does.
No.
Yeah.
That's like when you see people with that stupid ghost tube fucking SLS and they're going, "Oh, this place it's infested." I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of here with that stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. It's not even designed for that bullshit.
When they're like, it's waving at me. No, it's like going all contorted and legs in the air and like, what do you think they're? It's ridiculous. For you to think that's a spirit, it's ridiculous. Like one leg goes 18 feet long and comes back, like crazy shit like that. Like, and you believe that it's mapping out a spirit. Oh, look, they're dancing. No, they're not dancing for you. They're not fucking circus animals. Like, it's bullshit.
It's insane, dude.
Yeah.
I sent the video to the clients, and they were like, "Holy shit!" I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." And dude, this is even better, dude. I at one point I'm listening to audio, and I hear somebody. There's an apartment below, so I hear somebody coughing like uncontrollably, like it sounds like a female coughing, right? So I'm like, "Yeah." I said they must have came home because I hear they weren't down there. They were out. And I said they must have came home because one of them must be sick because they're coughing really bad. She goes, no, they were gone the whole time you guys were there. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. I'm like, is somebody sick? And she goes, here's the thing. The mother died from like cancer or something like that that lived below. And she had like emphysema and stuff like that. And she was coughing all the time.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
She just confirmed that tonight. Dude, it's a woman coughing like uncontrollably, dude. Like, and I'm like, damn, somebody's really sick down there. Like, they're really coughing. And I had no idea until tonight that woman passed away down there.
And this is the place where people are conjuring shit and like the mirror with the yeah.
You know what's weird? I was telling a client, I said, he said, yeah, when they moved out, they had nothing in the apartment. There was nothing there, just themselves. And I said, you know, that sounds like some kind of satanic cult where they send out people to like basically try to find victims and shit like that and do weird rituals and shit. But she said they moved, they had no furniture. They just left all this weird shit, like the mirrors, all these weird bags of shit, like bags of stuff zipped up, like almost like they were like, you know, hexes or something in the bags, you know. Yeah,
sure.
Vials of blood that were laying around everywhere.
Wow.
There's weird shit, you know, like satanic kind of stuff. Yeah, man.
Sure.
Yep. Yeah. It's crazy, dude. Emerson, yeah, it's infested.
Yeah, the chat's kind of quiet tonight.
Yeah,
it is. I'm surprised. Dude, it's crazy, man. Like,
I figured there'd be more people on because the weather around the country is.
Yeah. Kind of shitty tonight. I know I wouldn't be out there running around in this shit. That's for sure.
No way. No way.
Nah. I had enough of that shit this morning driving to work. I was like, yeah. And coming home, I'm like, I just want to get home, dude. Fuck this. This sucky ass weather, man. But but yeah, man. Interesting case. You already called some really amazing shit. And I want to go back. I want to go back 100%. And she said it was cool. Hey, what's up, Dave? Hey, Amber. Dave is in the house. A new update on our good friend John Bowman, man. John was in the chat room a couple of weeks ago, and he suffered a massive kind of like heart attack, and he's in a coma. So,
oh man,
yeah, man. He's hey, Mike, what's up, man? He's a good guy.
Hey, Mike.
I met him a bunch of years ago through Dave, and we actually did a case with him, and really, really great guy, man. I'm hoping he pulls through.
Yeah,
he's a really good guy. He'd do anything for anybody, man. He's just that kind of person, you know.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that he comes out of it, but yeah, man, you never know when it's time to check out of this bitch, you know.
Yeah.
It can happen real quick. Life's pretty fragile, you know. You don't think you're gonna die, but you never know, man. You can wake up one day and it's all over in a matter of seconds. You know, you're not here no more. You know, it's sad.
Yeah, I definitely learned that working 20 years in medicine. Like, you know, I saw people. The craziest thing is like with car wrecks and things like that. Like, I've seen people killed in a 15-mile-an-hour car wreck, and I've seen people live through a 100-mile-an-hour car wreck that they should never live through. So it's just one of those, with the like scratches and bruises on the 100-mile-an-hour car wreck, but the 20-mile-an-hour car wreck just completely destroyed them. You know, it's just it's crazy. Yeah, and it's like you said, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. And
yeah, it's insane, man. Like, if anybody didn't see the video, I'll put it back up again of the XLS of it moving on its own, which is just put it in the chat. You know, come in the chat, put it in there if you want to see the video, and I'll play it again. But yeah, it's Dude, that shit was crazy, man. I couldn't believe that XLS moved, man. I'm still
Yeah.
I'm still blown away that something touched that screen, physically touched the screen and moved it. I don't know whether it was physically with a finger or maybe some kind of static that it was producing.
Something.
Yeah.
Jeez.
God damn.
Wow,
dude.
Dave.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So they hit a tractor trailer, had only 80 miles an hour and lived. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's pretty scary. Yeah, man. So I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we get when we go, paranormal investigating. You know, we catch real paranormal evidence and not people acting like fucking phonies and fucking over there.
Yeah.
I'm possessed or fucking crazy shit they do out there. You know, I'm just like, dude.
Yeah.
It's like a 3-ring fucking circus out here anymore with the stupid shit they do.
Well, the dramatization of the tiniest thing. I mean, you know, they hear like in the background and they're like, oh my God, you know, like, okay, that could just be the house settling. Like, why does every little noise have to be something paranormal? That's what I don't understand.
Well, could you just say, I mean, TV's done a lot of that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I mean, somebody farts and it's paranormal. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe it is. It smells. Yeah.
Speaking of that, have y'all seen my fart video from Brushy Mountain?
I've seen it.
Have you seen that, Tom?
Now that was paranormal. That might have been demonic.
Right. Well, I thought when I was going through the footage and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And we were laughing our asses off. And I'm like, people are always so serious about the paranormal. You never see this. And I'm like, I put it up on, I edited the video and it has this big long like warning, what you're about to see is real, raw, unfiltered footage, you know. And I did this big voiceover. And it's me. We had Cracker Barrel before and our stomachs were full.
Man.
So the three of us had gas all night. And I just happened to blow big ass while we're in this one cell. And then my cousin chimes in. And I think there's an EVP in there too. I can't say 100% it's an EVP. I don't think it's one of us, but it goes, whew, like in between us talking about it. And my cousin's like, yeah, that's disrespectful in prison. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And my cousin's like, yeah, you call him little shitty and I'm big shitty. And then the other dude, Caleb, I couldn't fit it in the 1-minute clip, but about 2 minutes after that, he says, yeah, just call me, what was it? Oh, shit. Like a little squeak or something like that. But I was just like, but I put it out there as like something serious on TikTok and on Facebook and stuff. And people think it's hilarious. It's been viewed on TikTok like 1,000 times. But it was just like the hell with like, this is real paranormal investigating. This is what happens. Or your stomach's grumbling and somebody's listening to the recorder, and that's all you hear is fucking Star Wars noises because somebody's stomach's going pew pew. You know,
that's guilty. That's mine.
That's Tom. Yeah, the last case we're doing, we're like every 2 seconds, his stomach's like.
Yeah, that's the thing. I wasn't even hungry. That's the thing. I'm like, oh my God, I wasn't even hungry. I got
a new name for you, Eric, for the native. It's a Native American name.
What is that?
We're gonna call you Little Big Stink.
I'll tell you. But we learned our lesson. Don't go carb load at Cracker Barrel before an investigation.
I've done that before. I was in a case and it was like dead ass quiet. Now I dropped a bomb. It was like bam. I was like, dude, what was that? I'm like, I started laughing. I'm like, it's my ass, dude. And he's like, you're an asshole, dude. I was like, that was my asshole.
There's another fart clip from Brushy that I'm going to put up just because it was funny. We were in the cafeteria, and back in I think it was in the 80s, there were these two inmates who painted these awesome murals of animals on the walls in the cafeteria. And there's one of a bear. And because you're in the Appalachian Mountains, there's black bears out there. And my cousin Brian, he's a trip. And I've turned him into an investigator, but he goes up and he's looking at the bear mural and he farts and he's like, did you hear that? That fucking bear just growled at me. And I got it on camera. So I think that's the next clip I'm going to put up.
That is hilarious.
Well, I just figured, we are honest about what we do, right? We're not faking anything. We're not dramatizing. So let me show you the honest shit that happens when we're just like normal people. Like we're not
absolutely.
you can't be serious all the fucking time when you're investigating. You still want to have a good time. And so that's just part of it, is making fun of each other, and shit happens.
Sure.
Literally.
Basically.
So
yeah. That's like Carl. I'm always fucking with Carl in investigations. He's always fucking with me too. Like I bent down getting the camera. He like walks by. I'm like, motherfucker, you. He's like, it's bad. I was like, no shit. He's farted like right in my ear. Like dick.
Well, and I've told you the story about the ladies going in the room after I'd used the bathroom.
Oh,
I told you that story before. Yeah. Have you heard that story, Tom?
No, I haven't heard that one.
We were at Thomas' house, and Thomas' house is a big bed and breakfast. And I was getting everybody from upstairs to go downstairs into the dining room for dinner. Well, I had to use the bathroom, and I just picked one of the rooms that I knew had a decent bathroom in it, because all the rooms have their own bathrooms. Some of them are smaller than others, and I'm a big guy. So in one of the bathrooms anyway, none of them have exhaust fans. But I thought everybody's gonna be down dinner for like 2 hours. So if I stink it up, whatever. Well, there are these two ladies still walking around upstairs, and I'm messing with the DVR, and I'd already told them to go downstairs. Well, I hear them in the room that I just dropped this massive, load off in, that it stunk to high heaven because we had Mexican for lunch. And I go in there to tell them to go downstairs. And as soon as I walk in there, the one lady's like, it didn't smell like this when we were in here before. I was trying not to laugh. And I'm like, y'all need to go downstairs for dinner. And then I proceeded to crack up for 10 minutes. And when I stopped laughing, it's finally when I went downstairs. But yeah, like they were thinking something's demonic in here because it smelled straight up like rotten eggs. Out of all the rooms, there's like 30 rooms. Out of all the rooms, they picked the one room that I used the bathroom in. And
oh god, that's
but
funny.
yeah, she was like, it didn't smell like this when we were in here before. And that was room 32. So now when I told my investigative partner to leave, I took him outside and told him, and he was cracking up. And I told him, I said, from now on, when we, you need to go to the bathroom in the middle, we're going to say, I'm going to go to room 32.
Yes.
As a code word.
I'm going to 3. I'm going to 3 deuce.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to be dropping, a deuce.
But I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Because the upstairs is one big L shape too. So one hall has like 15 rooms, and then you have to come around this like sitting area to this other hall. They came all the way down from the other hall and went straight into that one room. And I'm like, of all the places you could have went up here,
Oh my god, yeah.
They
it didn't smell like that before.
They probably went home, watched the Conjuring movie, said, that's the exact smell I smelled, that rotten smell they were smelling in that movie. They probably thought it was demonic, dude.
Well, they were using like that ghost radar app anyway.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so
I
don't know what they thought.
There it is. They're going around and things going beep, beep, picking up one, beep, beep. These people are making a fucking ton of money on these stupid phone apps, dude.
Yeah. $10, $15, $20 pop. Yeah.
Killing them.
Yeah. That's funny, Dave.
That is funny. Lady said it was like someone should
somebody shit in the pines.
It's a pine barren. You hanging out in the pine barrens before you drop that one, or what?
Wow.
But yeah, it amazes me.
I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to be gross, dirty bathroom humor, but these are just things that happen, that you got to laugh at.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
true.
Dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I had a female investigator do the same thing one time. She tried to squeak one out. She didn't think anybody was going to hear it, but I was all plugged in. It was like, Don's like, what was that? I was like, he was like, that was me. And right? And I was like, right? She's trying to say like she knocked into something. I was like, that was a squeaker. She's like, I heard it. That bitch said, I said, yeah, have a sweetener.
Oh,
That's
Lord.
funny.
You gotta have fun doing this shit, or why do
Look,
it? You know what I mean?
Look, folks,
Right,
this is real. This is
exactly.
real paranormal investigating at its finest.
It's true. It's true.
You just entered Paranormal 101.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't think that shit happens behind the scenes on TV? Come
Oh,
on.
hell yeah.
I know,
I've
right?
I've met a bunch of those TV people in person. They're a little bit different off camera than they are on.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
Two of them I'm really good friends with, and they're definitely a lot more open off camera than they are on.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I met Jason.
That's funny.
I met Jason Halls, and I did an investigation with them, and they were.
Yeah.
He was super cool. I was like, this guy's down to earth. Like, I don't think I could go hang around people that don't say a fuck or a shit or, you know.
Yeah.
It's not normal to me not to hear that on an everyday basis. I'm in construction. I hear cussing all day long, dude. I mean, fuck is a part of my vocabulary. You know what I mean? There's a million expressions for the word fuck. It can be good. It can be bad. It can be great. Fucking A. Fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many expressions for fuck. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Even good time. What the fuck? You know, it's like
the world of the world of first responders, of like working on the ambulance and police and fire. It's a big fraternity, and so everybody's foul mouth, and so that's what I did for 20 years. So that's my favorite word's fuck as well, and it's. Yeah, I've been asked to be a guest on a few podcasts, and it's really hard not to not to curse. I'm like,
it is.
Ugh.
You try to control. You're like, yeah, well, I think fucking scared. Well, I'm scared the shit out of me. Or Tom knows me real well. I'm like, dude, it's hard not to say that. So it's difficult. But I'll tell you, man. I get on here on Facebook. Not as much as I used to, but I get on social media now and I see the fucking rip-raff of bullshit that's out there. And a lot of these paranormal groups are a lot of bullshit, man. And they can listen to the podcast and like it, don't like it. But the ones that don't like it, they're the ones that are fucking bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
And here's what I think I say about that. Keep moving the fuck on with yourself, you know? Goodbye. See you.
Yeah. I talk some shit on my show quite a bit, but I'm not into like calling people out. So you do what you want to do. I'm gonna do the real shit, and I know what I'm doing is real. My conscience is clear. Exactly. But I don't ever call them out by name. But I will talk shit about you, and you can figure out. And if you think it's about you, if that shoe fits, wear the motherfucker, because it probably is about you.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm talking about groups that are shit, and you think it's about you, it probably is. Whether I have you in mind or not. And I've had a couple people that was the case, I guess, and they kind of shut themselves at the door. You know, I'm like, all right, well, if that makes you feel guilty that you get pissed off at me because I'm calling out people like that, then that's your problem, you know.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you what to do or what to believe, but you know.
Yeah. Lace up that fucking shoe and wear it.
Yeah.
You know? If you're the one acting like that, lace up your shit and wear it.
Yeah.
You know, sure. Fuck it. Yeah. You know, it is what it is. Like I said, man, we've called people out before, not too long ago, actually. You know, and whether somebody liked it or not, I don't really give a shit. But you're not going to be doing a whole lot of dumb shit like that in front of us, man, because we don't fucking play that shit.
You know?
It's not going to happen, dude.
Well, it's like me and you were talking on Messenger earlier, John, that we've been around in the paranormal for a long time, and we'll be around when all those people are gone. Way longer, you know. And so then people easily weed themselves out after a few years. I've seen so many teams and people come and go over the years, you know. And that's why I like to do my own thing. And like I get asked all the time, you know, if I'm part of a team. No, I'm part of several teams, because I don't want to commit to just one team, because I don't want to be locked down. And that's just my thing. Like, you know, I get opportunities to go investigate with other people, and I don't want anybody. And also that team dynamic, a lot of the times, especially the bigger they get, the more you get egos involved in shit. And I don't want a part of that. I want a part of it. I don't want you telling me that I can't go do something with somebody else, you know, with another team, or go investigate, or go to a convention with my podcast, or do this or that, you know, because I'm part of your team. No, I don't want that. So I'll be a guest investigator with all different kinds of teams, and I have fun doing that. So I'll probably never commit to just one paranormal team, and I don't want to run one either. I don't have no desire to do that.
Yeah, it's fucking difficult running them, man, because you just get personalities that don't clash with yours, and
yeah,
you see them start doing stupid shit, and then you're just like, dude,
yeah,
I'm not about the whole fucking garbage bullshit that's out here. Like, I'm there to get. We do a lot of residential cases, man. It's not like we're going into these big places. We're dealing with the public. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people, families, kids. So yeah, we have to act accordingly, man. And you go into some of these places and you got some fucking dipshit that goes into a place with you that's representing you, acting like an idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just like, dude, it's going to make you look like shit. So
Right.
you gotta weed them out, man. You're just like, dude,
Yeah.
get out of here with that bullshit, man. I ain't got time for it. I ain't got time for people's bullshit. But they start acting stupid like that, I just stop talking to them. I'm just like, dude. And they'll talk shit like they all do. They all done it in the past. They all talk shit. Oh man, he's a dick. I'll fuck kick his ass. Man, you ain't gonna do shit, man. I see you in person, you ain't gonna do nothing but same thing you're doing on a computer, talking a whole lot of yin yang, man.
Yeah.
I ain't got time for that shit. You do your thing. I'm gonna do my thing. I've been here a long time. I'll be here long after the motherfuckers are all gone.
Yeah.
Rubbing elbows with, they think rubbing elbows with these pair celebrities is going to get them somewhere. Hey, do your thing, man. Have fun with it. But you ain't going to get shit out of that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You're not going to get $1, a penny, a silver nickel with a fucking horseshoe on it. You ain't get none of that shit. Ain't happening, dude.
It's funny to also see these, talking about the people that come and go, the people, especially from my point of view with podcast. In the 4 years I've been doing my show, I'm hitting 150 episodes next Wednesday for the Unseen Paranormal, and that's 150 guests. That's 150 of a lot of fucking hours editing and scheduling and like a lot of work. And my show does well, and I do it for a living now because it does well. But I've also busted my ass to get it there.
Of course.
But especially in paranormal podcasting, I've seen so many podcasts come and go because they think, oh, I'm gonna get rich and famous overnight. And like, no, I'm not rich and famous. Fuck. I mean, the show pays for itself, and I make a little extra to, like it pays for itself, as in it pays for StreamYard, it pays for anything I need to buy, equipment wise and things like that. But people think that, okay, I can just plug in and jump on and people are going to automatically watch because I'm interesting for some reason.
Right.
And, I'm like, no, I've been working. Everything I've done in my entire life has culminated into this, basically. Because I was a karaoke DJ for many years. I was a wedding DJ for 20 years. Like when I was in high school, I took TV production for 4 years. Like, I've learned how to do audio engineering. I've done sound for bands and shit. So like everything I've done is culminated into this. And I happen to have the voice for it. Probably not the face for it. It's face for radio. But, I have the voice for it. But not to put anybody else down. Like, do whatever you want to do. But don't think that you're going to come in without working for it and do anything. In entertainment at all.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have interesting content. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, and you have to be a person. You have to have a personality because people are going to see through all the fakes.
Well, I think that's part of the problem. Yeah, Tom. I think that's part of the problem is that you have so many people who are trying to be something they're not instead of just authentic.
Right.
And I think authenticity is what people want in the paranormal. Like as the audience of this content, of us right here being authentic. I think people appreciate that a lot more than if we come on here and put on this big show and bravado and, bro culture, flexing our muscles and, whatever.
Right.
Fuck all that. That's ridiculous. Like, come on and just be yourself and be a good person. And people see that.
Sure. Yeah. Exactly. Well, and like you were talking about with your podcast, I mean, you work your ass off and here you are. You're not going to just plug in and have that audience. I mean, it's just like when you have your own paranormal group. I mean, you got to go out and build your brand to where you start to get the cases. Right. You can't just form one and say, "Hey, look at us," and people are going to start, knocking on your door and having you come and paying you to come investigate their places.
Yeah. And I was just using the podcast world as like an example for the whole paranormal field of people think they're just going to jump in paranormal and automatically get a fucking TV show because their ego is so big that they think they're the shit and they have something new to say and they don't, and there's, if you want a TV show, okay, do that. But I'm gonna tell you right now, to stay on TV, you're gonna sell out at some level.
100%.
Because ratings are king. And if that's how you make your money, you're going to sell out and do whatever the producers want you to do, whether that's faking evidence or dramatizing things. Eventually you're going to do it. Yep. And, and I hate to say that because I think there are some para-celebrities that have majorly sold out when they were respectable investigators to begin with and got into the field to be a good investigator and to not do the bullshit. But then they got into the whole paranormal entertainment thing. And then it becomes, oh, I have to feed my family. I need that paycheck. So I've got to do whatever the network tells me I'm going to do.
I need that paper.
Yeah. Yeah. And a prime example here lately with the Cody and Satori toe tapping shit is Jason Hawes come out and made a video defending his daughter. Well, for one, it's his daughter, so he's going to defend her.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And two, guess what? Cody and Satori are on Ghost Hunters.
Yeah.
That's how he makes his money. So he's not going to come out and give his show a black eye by saying my daughter's full of shit and they're doing the Fox sisters trick and they're charlatans. He's going to, he's stuck with defending them and what they do. No matter how many people prove that it's fake, he's stuck. And I feel bad for him in that way because it's his daughter. He knows it's bullshit. Jason Hawes knows it's bullshit. And the fact that he put it on the show, he's kind of pigeonholed himself into defending that, fakery and Victorian charlatanism bullshit. And so I feel bad for him in a way because he's pigeonholed, but I don't know the way because he put himself in that situation.
Yeah. I mean, there's an easy way to go, to debunk that shit. If he's popping joints in his legs, like they say, and all this shit. Here's the thing. When they're doing their thing, somebody hold his legs while they're doing it.
Well, what I said was, why don't you show us you doing that barefoot with shorts on? Simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as that. But they would not, they said in the Colby and Sam and Colby video, which is where all this started, the Conjuring House video they put up. That's when the debunkers got a hold of it and first saw it because Sam and Colby have millions of subscribers on YouTube. And Sam and Colby tried to debunk it. Okay, so they took him out to a park. They gave them slippers to put on, but they both had pants on and they still have shoes on. Well, where Sam and Colby fucked up was that in one of their intro videos to the debunking, there's a quick clip of Cody and Satori in their socks, but they never showed a video clip of them doing the trick in their socks. So, and people have said, all you gotta do is do it barefoot, and they won't do it. They said, we're not allowed to do that. By who? If this is such an amazing thing that would, if you can prove that it's real, that would completely change the paranormal world because you can do this crazy gift of, having spirits knock and answer shit, then why wouldn't you be going to any length to try to prove that it's real?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they just come on and say, well, we're not going to be lab rats. No, all people are asking is that you make a video showing your bare feet and that you're not popping your toes and you're not popping joints. That's all people are asking for. Anybody want to see your fucking curled up toes?
Yeah.
Anybody's trying to see your feet? People just want to see if you're really for real.
Just validate the truth.
Yeah.
That's it. If somebody ever comes up to me and says, I'm full of shit, I got all the fucking evidence I need right here on my shit. You want to listen to it?
Yeah.
You want to see it? I have it right here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't pull no strings with anybody. If you want to see what I got, shit, I'll just pull out my external hard drive, plug it into whatever you want. I'll pull anything up for you. Video, audio. I have it. I mean, these guys, Tom's been with me where I hear shit all the time in investigations.
Oh my God.
I'm just fucking tuned into it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's because I have a hearing loss in a ear and it made this hearing a lot more powerful. Because that would make sense. I can't hear shit out of my left ear, so I think it amplified everything in my right ear to compensate for the loss. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when I'm in investigations, dude, I hear shit all the time. Those guys don't hear it, but I do.
No, it's the weirdest thing, Eric. It's the weirdest damn thing.
They're like, you didn't fucking hear that. I'm like, no. And sometimes Tom will pick up on it, but other investigators, they won't hear it.
Maybe you're just on that frequency with the spirits. You know,
it's weird, man.
There's
Like
some-
I do.
there's something.
It's been years that it's been like that. It's weird as shit, man. I'll be in a place and just hear shit, and I'm like, "Did you hear that? No." Play it back and record. There it is. It's in there. You know, and they're like,
Yeah.
"I didn't fucking hear that, dude." Like, I'm like,
it takes a little while for it to kind of get used to him, like looking at you or saying something like you're an idiot. You know, did you hear that? No, I didn't hear that. What do you mean you didn't hear that?
Yeah.
John. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
you're telling me you didn't hear that?
Yeah, I'm like,
No, I
you
didn't
didn't fucking hear that? No. I'm like, yeah, you shit me. No, I didn't hear that at all. I'm like,
yeah,
I fucking heard it, like clear. Like they're like, no, I didn't hear it. And I'm like, oh, here, I got it. I recorded it.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and then, but no, there's usually a, what's wrong with you thrown in there too.
I'm like,
you didn't hear that? What's wrong with you?
yeah, who the fuck you guys didn't hear that? Like one time we heard a voice, and me and him heard it, nobody else heard it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, fucking hear that? Like,
I seriously think it's something to do with frequencies and like our vibrations. You know, everything's vibrations. And so I think that some of us are just on a certain level, because I've been haunted my whole fucking life. I have shit happen every day in my house, you know, that's just like, what the fuck? But it's become normal for me because it happens all the time. You know, my husband's the same way. He never believed in the paranormal until we got together 18 years ago. And he's just had so much shit happen to him in our house and stuff that he's just like, okay. And he wants nothing to do with investigating or anything. He doesn't go on any events with me or anything. I mean, y'all met him because he came with me to the bash. He'll do conventions and things, but he won't go on investigation stuff. But I think it's just certain certain people are just in tune in a way that other people aren't.
Yeah, sure.
And
I mean, you got to be aware of your surroundings. So, like when you're in a place, you really got to elevate your heighten your senses. You know what I mean? Like, don't be like your mind wandering off. Like, I wish I was home. I'm tired. Dude, be really focused and in tune with what's going on. And I'm telling you, you'll hear a lot of shit. You just got to really be paying attention and listening and being aware of all your surroundings and shit. Because when it starts getting weird, that's usually when something happens. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You start getting that creepy feeling, you know, you get the goosebumps. It's your body reacting to something paranormal. It's something, you know, changing in the atmosphere that's creating that phenomenon, you know. I never used to believe that when people say, oh, I get the goosebumps, but dude, I would get that in a place and it would be normal. Totally normal, and all of a sudden I would get this really creeped out feeling. My hair would be standing up on there, and then I'd hear like a disembodied voice or footsteps, or, you know, and just like, dude, that's crazy. Like that one case time where I heard all that fucking static in the recorder. I'm like holding, I'm plugged into the recorder, and I'm standing at the end of this bed where this little girl sees a figure all the time. And dude, all this static like comes into the recorder, like shh. And within the static, I hear a fucking voice like say like "help me" or something like that through the static. And I'm like, "Oh fuck!" Dude, I just heard a voice in the static. I said, "You guys hear that?" And they're like, "No." Then all of a sudden, on the hand that I'm holding the recorder in, all the hair stands up on my arm, and I feel like someone like touching my arm like that. I'm like, "Holy shit, dude!" Like someone was definitely touching my arm, and I was like, "Man, you're really impressing me." And I didn't hear it, but the recorder picked up a voice saying, "Thank you," like right after that. And I'm like, holy shit.
That's cool. That they're thanking you for acknowledging them.
Yeah.
You know, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That place was really haunted.
Yeah.
It was, man. I was really surprised. Because at first I didn't really get that feeling until we really started getting into investigating in the home. And then when we got upstairs, I was like, this fucking place feels weird. Like the whole upstairs felt really, the air just felt different. Everything just felt weird about it. And then right away, we started experiencing shit. I was like, holy shit. Like they was knocking on the attic door and thuds on the carpet. Like someone dropped something on the carpet. There wasn't anything there. Voices, you know, I'm just like, wow, man, this place is really fucking haunted, man.
Yes, well, I think after a while of investigating, you kind of get that sense of when you walk in a room, just like, no, there's not really anything in here right now. Well, you know, but then once you start investigating, you do feel the air change in a way, and it feels thicker and more energy, and then you'll feel it suck out of a room too when they're done, and you won't get shit after that. You won't get any EVP. You won't get any interaction after that whatsoever, because they're just done with you for whatever reason, whether they need more energy or what. You know, I don't know, or they move on somewhere else because they got bored with you. But yeah, when you walk into a certain room, you can just feel it. You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, I have ADD. I'm going to be bored all the time as a fucking ghost. You know, wherever I'm haunting, you better be interesting if you're going to come in and want me to talk to you, because ADD, I'm going to be like squirrel, and I'm off, down the hallway. Like, okay.
You're here touching this shit, moving that shit. We're like, fuck is this shit here? Fuck is this? Fucking lifting shit up and stuff.
Yeah. This fucking ghost needs some Adderall, man. Shit, he's all over the place.
Yeah, like, what's wrong with this fucking ghost, man? There's shit everywhere. Fucking rearranging furniture in the house, moving the desks over the way, chairs.
Yeah. The feng shui is off.
Oh yeah.
I'd be saying shit like that on EVPs just to fuck with people. Like, what is that? What does he mean the feng shui is off? Like,
Oh man.
Like the code word is peanut butter. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, just to fuck people.
Yeah. You're like, what the fuck is peanut butter? Why
They
say peanut butter?
Yeah, they're trying to figure out what that has to do with anything. It has nothing to do with anything. Why? I mean, if you have intelligent spirits out there, why wouldn't someone fuck with you? Like, why?
Well, sure, right? Absolutely.
I mean, I think sometimes some of the shit that I've caught on EVP, I'm like, they've got to be fucking with me. Just
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, the weird words you get sometimes, you're like, that has fucking nothing to do with anything,
Yeah.
But
that's like this is hilarious. We were up in Concord, PA, investigating this old church, right? It was an orphanage, but then it was a church, right? It was a meeting house or something we were investigating.
Yeah.
So we're in the meeting house. It's me and Carl and another guy, and Carl's always fucking cold, right? So it's like, man, it's getting cold out there. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? You want your Snuggie or something? Like, he's like, I've heard it. Tom got him a half Snuggie, right? So we didn't give it to him yet. So we said, Tom. I said, Tom got you a half Snuggie earlier in the night. And I was like, he's like, man, it's going to be cold out there. I was like, man, you want your fucking Snuggie or something? And he's like, well, I heard about it. And then I hear a voice, right? Like in between it, I hear this whispering voice. And I was like, did you say something? He's like, no, I just said I heard about the Snuggie. I want it. And dude, when I went back into the recording and I'm listening to the recording, you hear me say, what do you want, your fucking Snuggie or something? You hear Carl go, I heard about it. Then you hear a fucking voice go, asshole. calls me an asshole. I called Carl. I was like, did you fucking call me an asshole that night? He goes, yeah, why? I was like, dude, I fucking EVP called me an asshole, dude. He goes, no way. I said to him, he goes, holy shit.
Yeah, Eric, you got to meet Carl.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, he was I think the last time I come on with John, he was on.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah. So I got to chat with him a little bit, but yeah, man.
Oh my god, dude, it's so fun. We had so much fun when we go out. Me and Carl always got to run and joke with each other about something, one thing or another,
Yeah.
We call him the Exorcist. Every time he walks into a house, he's like, "This house is clean." He's funny as shit. He goes, "Oh, I guess we're not gonna have anything happen tonight. Carl's here."
I know a few of those people. That's weird. Like I call them the paranormal cooler. Because you know what a cooler is. Like like somebody in a casino that goes in and will shut down anybody's luck or whatever. Yeah, I call them paranormal coolers because I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's just a vibe that they bring or what, but I know a few people that are like that. Like you can have all kind of activity going on as soon as they walk in a fucking room and just everything stops.
Gone. I know.
Everybody leaves. Yeah.
Oh man. But there's been a couple times when I've been with Carl and we've had a lot of shit happen, which he never believed in like negative shit, stuff like that. But when we went to Newcastle and experienced all that shit, totally changed his mind. Totally. He never thought something like that could happen. And so I told him, years prior, I said, dude, we used to get cases like this a lot, like a whole lot. And it kind of slacked off over the years. And then we got that case, and it was like bringing all that shit back. And I was like, this is just the beginning, dude. Like, this is shit. We used to have shit like this all the time when I first started. We had a lot of really negative cases when we first started, which was weird as shit.
I'm sorry, I took the last drink of my coffee and there's fucking coffee grounds in it. Like,
oh man,
I just got a mouthful of coffee grounds. Ugh.
You got the K cup dispenser?
Well, mine, I have a Ninja coffee maker, so it does either K cup or it has the where you put grounds in it, ground coffee.
Sometimes my K cup will do that. It'll pop. I don't know what happens, but it pops out all the coffee grinds, and it'll be in the bottom, and you take a swig and get a whole mouthful of coffee grinds. You're like,
I hate that. That's the worst.
Yeah,
it's gritty. Ugh.
Yeah.
I just got a mouthful, but I swallowed them. So, well, I wasn't gonna like spit it back out in the glass, and, live on the internet.
So are you gonna have the your Paracon this year?
No. That's the short answer.
Damn.
We haven't made that announcement yet. We're going to soon. So whoever's watching this now knows. But I put my life on hold for about 6 months last year for that damn thing.
Yeah.
It was successful. We had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. I enjoyed it in many ways, but also I didn't get to enjoy it, right? Because I worked my ass off on the day of, running around, putting out fires, running the show, right?
Yep.
And I also was running all the audio visual stuff for the speakers and running the sound system and all that stuff. So there are a lot of people that I wanted to actually get to talk to that I didn't. I got to shake their hand, talk to them for 10 seconds, and I had to go back to the stage or do whatever I was doing. So, excuse me, I really didn't get to enjoy it. So I also neglected my podcast for a few months, actually, even though I was putting out episodes, I just wasn't putting everything into it. And just this year, there's lots of things that I have on the burners that I want to do instead of spending the whole year planning another expo. So with that being said, what we're looking at doing it maybe every 2 years. So maybe next year we'll do one, maybe in the summer. And just have it every couple of years.
That'd
and
be
so
great.
yeah.
Well, let me know, man. I'll definitely be there.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
It's bittersweet because, like I said, I'm excited for all the projects that I have going on that I'm involved with this year. But at the same time, I hate to let anybody down too, because I have so many people asking about the expo, and people that didn't get to come last year be vendors, or people didn't get to come and be speakers and things like that that keep asking me, and I've gotten lots of emails and messages over the past few weeks, especially about it.
Yeah.
Next, we're actually going to go on live on the Tennessee Haunts and Legends Expo page next Saturday. We will be together the 27th. We're doing an investigation at a hotel in a small town in Tennessee called Linden. But the three of us will be together. So for the first time since the expo, we have not all three been in the same room. We talk to each other all the time, and we do 3-way calls, and we have a message thread. We talk all the time, but we're actually going to do a live video from the Commodore where we're investigating Commodore Hotel, and tell everybody there's not going to be one this year. So I told Regina and Lee, my business partners, that they had my blessing to take the name and the logo and do one this year if they wanted to, because I know they would do it justice, but they said no, they wouldn't do it without me. So
yeah.
Well,
that sucks, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Do it again. Send me a message, man. We'll do it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'll ride down there.
Well, I just don't want to, like, the projects that I am doing this year. I'm doing some video projects and stuff, and my book will be done in the next month.
Nice.
So I want to focus on that. I want to focus on the 2 podcasts, keep building them. Like I said, Strange Chapters is building really quickly on YouTube, which is what I'm trying to build it is on YouTube, not necessarily as a podcast. It already has almost 5,000 views and 500 watch hours, and I have 15 episodes of Strange Chapters. But
sweet.
Yeah, so it's kind of snowballing. The Unseen Paranormal is just getting bigger and bigger. And the video stuff that I'm doing, I want it to be the best it can be. So I want to put my attention on that stuff. And that project I'm doing with my buddy Austin Lawrence, who you got to meet, John, on the live stream you had with him.
Great guy, man.
We're doing a project called Strangely Haunted. So if you've seen that logo that I put up, the little logo video that I made, it will be short form documentaries on haunted locations. And we're going to have at least one long form, probably 90-minute to 2-hour documentary that we have an interesting concept. I'm not going to say it in public, but I'll tell you off the live feed what the concept is. But we want to do, there's so much bullshit out there on YouTube, investigation wise, that we want to throw our hat in the ring of showing what real investigations are. We're also going to go to some places that people have never heard of, and do videos, but we're also have a focus with that on the short form documentaries are going to be up to 30 minutes long at most. And so like we're going to the Commodore Hotel next Saturday and film while we investigate. But a good chunk of the video is also going to be about the history of the place. So not just the hauntings, but we're going to throw a lot of history in there, and we're going to try to go to places that have interesting history, as well as being haunted, and see what we can capture. Cool. And if there's times that we don't catch anything all night, then we just don't fucking catch anything.
Yeah. That happens all the fucking time.
So, yeah.
Right.
So,
you don't go into every fucking haunted place and think, you're going to fucking ghosts are going to be jumping out of the ceiling fucking on you. Yeah, it doesn't work like that, dude. Sometimes you're sitting there for fucking hours and you can hear a mouse pissing on a piece of cotton. It's so quiet. You're just like, this fucking sucks. It's like, this blows. But, that's the nature of the game. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you don't know when this shit's going to happen. It could be dead ass quiet for 4 or 5 hours. Next thing you know, man, shit's popping off. You're like, holy shit. This is awesome, dude. Like that apartment. I had no idea that fucking happened on that XLS because we were in another room. But that's why you leave static shit out, just for that reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just for that reason, because you never know what the fuck is gonna happen, man. Like you got to be on point all the time with this shit because it could just happen anytime. Yeah.
Well, with me partnering up with Austin Lawrence, who have become really good friends with over the past couple of years, he's the most haunted fucking person I know. So I don't see, it's just shit happens when you're around him. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I don't see there being many instances where we don't get at least some evidence,
Yeah.
Because I think both of mine and his energy both just draw shit in for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's not going to be crazy shit like you see on YouTube where chairs are stacking themselves. Like that's the shit that we're railing against. And we want to show people this is what real investigating is versus the TV shows and shit. But also teach them something about a history, and also visually we want it to be interesting too. So the way that it's shot, not necessarily the investigation side of it, but the way that the history side of it is filmed, the way the building is filmed, things like that, show the beauty of these historic locations and things like that. So we have a good plan going forward, and I'm excited for it.
Are you looking at places that are kind of right around? Are they in Tennessee? Are they right around where you're located? Where are you finding the locations at?
Somewhere around in Tennessee. Austin lives in Ohio, so we've got some stuff up there, and we've got some stuff in between in Kentucky. So we have kind of a map of at least the first probably 5 or 6 episodes of places we want to go.
Cool.
Yeah, and realistically, it's probably going to put a video out a month or a video out every couple of weeks because we want the production to be good, and so we don't want to rush editing and things like that. So yeah, I mean, we're not going to rush to, and the long form documentary is going to be probably a whole year project, and we're going to shoot for next October for the hour and a half, 2-hour documentary.
Is that going to be on one of your cases, or is it going to be like a compilation of cases, or?
It's going to be about a certain legend that is in my neck of the woods, but our take on it is different. So I'll
very cool.
We get done on the live, I can tell y'all more about that. But
that's cool. Yeah.
But yeah, so we're trying to come at it from a different standpoint, but also be authentic in what we're doing too, and not no dramatization, no, no bullshitting, no faking anything. And also, I am very reticent to ever say, okay, this place is haunted. I'm more so, okay, I'm going to show you the evidence. I'm going to show you what we caught, and you make up your own mind. And that's kind of what we want to do. We don't want to mislead people. We don't want to lead people to believe, okay, this is an EVP we caught. This is direct response to our question. But you believe whatever you want,
Yeah.
And
Sure,
even
definitely.
with like personal experiences are a big thing. But it's also one of those things that to really truly understand it, you have to be there yourself in person,
Right.
So it's hard to get that across on camera. I can tell you all day, but it's gonna be one of those things of like, hopefully we entertain the audience with the history and the investigation, and that we're entertaining, and people make up their own mind about, okay, is that place haunted or not? We're never going to come out at the end and wrap it up with a nice bow and say, oh yeah, there's definitely a fucking ghost there. Well, I don't know.
How are you finding locations?
Some of them are ones that I'm familiar with. Some of them are we've never been to, but has interesting, compelling history, visually are cool, and also reportedly haunted. So, yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, and there's a couple of places that there's not really been anything done, like a deep dive into the history, like a video format of like the deep dive into the history, and then like a paranormal documentary type deal. So, yeah. And that's not even to put those out there for people to go investigate. It's just to say, hey, the history of this place and of these people, we want to tell that. And then the investigation is trying to connect with those people from history, so they can tell their own story,
that's cool.
Their own story in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like me, man. Like, what I'm trying to do is figure out more ways to communicate with these things. That's why I started using the hydrophone in water.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying different things to see if it's going to work. And the shit works. Like, I was in my own house and called, help me through the water. You know what I mean? And I let Tom hear it. Tom was like, holy shit, yeah, it says help me. And I'm like just sitting right here in this room right here. I got a hydrophone and water. And I was asking just standard, EVP questions. And I get a response through water. And I tell you, man, when you got that hydrophone and water and you got glass in it, dude, if you just touch that, I mean, at a minimum, dude, it is so clear.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like if something touches that or moves it or talks just close to it like this, dude, you're going to hear everything. It's pretty amazing. And I haven't seen anybody doing it. So I kind of named it myself, the hydrophonic voice phenomena, because I'm using a hydrophone. So it's it's to right away you get people that are gonna fucking hate on it. Oh man, it's someone else did that. I said I haven't seen anybody do anything like that ever.
Well, not to burst your bubble, but I have.
Have you? I haven't seen anybody do that, dude. That's pretty fucking cool, though, man.
Yeah,
I'm glad you have, but
yeah, there's a documentary. I think it was on the Sleepless Unrest. Kendall and Vera Welton, they do Robot Ninja Media. They do some of the best paranormal documentaries out there. They did the house in between. They put one down in the well at the Conjuring House and let it record for like a week while they were there.
That was just a recorder. That wasn't a hydrophone, was it?
I think it was a hydrophone.
I thought it was just a recorder. That was just a recorder. Yeah, I think they dropped down there.
They had it was a microphone in the water. And it might have just been a voice recorder. It might have been a voice recorder that they recorded underwater. There was somebody that I saw that specifically used a hydrophone. I don't remember what it was on.
I've seen it on Josh Gates with what's the Expedition Unknown?
Yeah.
Expedition X.
Yeah, but they were using it to listen for UFOs underwater, UAPs.
I think when they dove on that, there was one episode where they dove in a cemetery that was flooded. It might have been here in Tennessee. They dove on where the headstone just went under the water.
Yeah, you're right.
They used a hydrophone to try to do EVPs. Yeah.
Yeah. Did they get anything on it?
I think they got a couple weird anomalies on there.
It's interesting, but I was also looking at like
I'm not trying to take credit away from you because I think
no,
you're onto
that's
something
cool,
awesome, and I think it's awesome that you're
cool.
doing it. But it's not something that people are doing on a regular basis.
No.
And,
I want to take it into some really haunted places, like that I know is really haunted, and try it with different like things in the water. Like they were saying to use if you make the water warmer with salt, put salt in it, that the sound will travel even faster. Like through the
that makes
water.
sense with the ocean. Yeah, with the ocean makes sense.
They said it travels faster through salt water than it does like tap water or purified water or anything like that.
Well, sound travels further and faster through water than it does the air.
Yeah, well. four times faster.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing, man.
Yeah.
But you
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I was really surprised when it happened. I'm like, man, this is really fucking cool, dude. Like this could be really interesting. Take it to a really haunted place and see what you really get out of it. You know?
Yeah. I'm kind of going low tech. I bought a whole thing of these bells to hang on a string.
Oh, like Christmas bells. What are they, Christmas bells?
Yeah, they're little silver silver bells. To hang on a string. They don't ding, like they're hard to get, like you'd have to really shake them. But kind of low tech with something like that we can hang across a doorway and put a camera on it, and you know what I'm saying, and see what does that. And then also I got a new EMF meter that actually breaks down the EMF into electrical, radiation, and magnetic, and it has a digital readout on it. So I want to see what fluctuates, not just electrical, but the fact that the electrical and magnetic are separate.
You got like a trifield meter.
Yeah. And this breaks them down into a digital readout that you can read on the screen. And then another thing that I'm getting into also that we're going to try is a barometer. Because
I've done that before.
Yeah, my buddies Brandon Allison and Mustafa Galilori that are doing haunted discoveries. Just one of the things they use is a barometer, and they've actually saw a pressure change when that activity happens.
It happens. Yep.
And so trying to get into more like visual and scientific things that you can actually prove, that something's really going on, and seeing, like, I'm excited to see the 3 different things broken down. Like I said, the electrical, radiation, and the magnetic, and then also when I have the money, there's a static electricity. I forget what the hell it's called, but it measures static electricity in the air, and they use them to detect lightning and shit
for ionization.
Yeah. And so I want to get one of those and see, because we've all felt the hair on our necks, on our arms stand up and shit like that. So I wonder if there's an effect on just the static charge in the air, period. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to have a baseline. And of course, it's going to be higher like this time of year when it's drier in your house, because that's what, you walk across the carpet with your socks and you get shocked more in the winter.
Right.
Oh, that's a cool idea. Yeah,
I've done it. Yeah, I've done it.
But just trying to think outside the box, but also things that are more scientific. You know what I'm saying? That are easier to measure and harder to disprove. And then also simple things like the bells. I don't really trust the cat balls because they're electronic, and so the bells are kind of my version of cat balls, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We use Carl brings Christmas bells. We hang them on doorknobs. Like people see the door opens, so we'll hang them on the doorknob. We've yet to have them go off, but me and Carl have had the door open up on its own and shit before, and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, there's just some parts of this shit that's like, there's no answer to it. You know what I mean? Like, you go, like that black mass that I recorded in Ephrata. Dude, that is totally, like, defies all physics. Like, how the fuck does something create itself from nothing? It's literally creating a mass from nothing. There's nothing there to create energy like that, and creates this black energy. Like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, what can actually create that? Sure. And it manifests and moves around with intelligence. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
You're just looking. I've watched that video probably a million times, just trying to figure out what fucking I'm looking at like this, I'm looking at it like this, like what the fuck caused that? Like what how did that manifest like that? You know what I mean? There's nothing there. There's no like energy there to create that mess. There's nothing there. Literally nothing there. It's a closet and a hallway door. There's no power there. The power was on the other side of the room. I mean the far side of the room. No power there at all. It's like the side of the house, where the closet is. It's the outside through the closet is fucking outside. And here's this thing. Was it a ghost? Was it some kind of alien technology? I don't know, but you know what I mean? I know it's fucking weird. And I was in the house when it was happening. I just didn't know it was happening because I had the monitor off. I was talking to the client and I had the fucking monitor off while I was recording. Luckily, I had just set the camera up, and I went downstairs and I hit record, and she was talking to me, and I clicked the monitor off, and while she's talking to me, it's filming it. I had no idea, because I would have went right the fuck upstairs and see how the atmosphere felt. Well, check EMF reading, see if the EMF was spiked high, or use radiation meter, see if radiation was there or something. You know what I mean? But dude, that's an amazing video that I still, to this day, that happened in 2011. I still can't figure it out. Like, what's going on?
I was thinking while you're talking about that, because it is amazing. Like you're saying, you just watch it manifest on this piece of equipment that 3D maps this room, and shit's just coming out of nowhere. And in the meantime, you got these fucktards online who are arguing over if a fucking lens flare is paranormal or not. And I'm like, if you just pay attention, there's real evidence out there that's unexplainable.
Exactly.
But you want to argue with me for 30 minutes that a fucking lens flare is a fucking angel.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, why can't you just accept that a lens flare is a real thing that happens in cameras?
Yeah.
Like, photographers are coming on here and telling you, oh, I deal with those all the time. Those are lens flares.
Yeah.
But when I try to tell you that, you want to argue with me, but there's incredible evidence out there.
Sure.
Real evidence. We can't explain. Real photo anomalies that we can't explain. Real video that we can't explain. EVPs that we can't explain. And I'm just it just makes me shake my head. That's all I'm saying.
I've seen light anomalies that were fucking amazing. You know what I mean? Like there are light anomalies that whether people want to call them orbs or whatever.
Yeah.
But people take the orb shit to a whole different level because they see something fly by on a fucking IR camera that's a speck of dust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking dust. One lady told me that, she doesn't have dust in her house. I'm like, look, every fucking body has dust in your fucking house. Like,
right.
It's a fact.
I bet your camera doesn't photograph raindrops either, does it? It's too quick for them.
I mean, these are the kind of cases that we get. It's just like, they're asking me for help, right?
Yeah.
And then they're fucking telling me what it is. I'm like, if you're asking me for help, and then you're telling me that these dust particles are fucking ghosts, like, I'm like, how can I help you?
Yeah.
If you're not going to listen to what I'm telling you, like
not gonna have an open mind. Yeah.
One lady sent me a video, right? It's fucking dust, going by the camera, because it moves weird or something. They think it's a ghost, and I'm like, it's just dust, man. Oh no, that's a third demon of the third world of fucking the parallel dimension of 27th parallel. I'm like, it's fucking just dust.
But you didn't see the face in that fucking thing, man?
Yeah. That's the fucking eyeballs with the smiley faces in the dust particles. Look, it's smiling.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man. Get fucking real. Like that's not paranormal evidence.
Right.
And
and then people
about it.
Well, and then people want to argue. Well, there's not a light in the picture. Well, that's not how lens flares work. Lens flares work from the light coming in at an angle. That's when you get the most lens flares, when it's coming at the angle. Like, I told this one lady, I was like, go read a fucking book and educate yourself, because apparently you don't know anything about fucking science. Like, this is science, I'm telling you. This is not my own conjecture. This is fucking science. This is how light works. Right. I'm like, have you ever seen a fucking prism? Like, how light, like, what, do you understand how rainbows work? Do you think there's really a pot of gold at the other fucking end and there's a leprechaun? Like, what the fuck is your deal? Like, you know, like you want to sit here and argue science, like facts. And that's the state of the world that we're in. It really is, with politics and everything. People just want to fucking argue.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, and I finally I just told her, I said, you know what, you fucking believe whatever fuck you want to believe, and I'm gonna go on about my day. I've only been doing this shit I've only investigated for 20 fucking years. I obviously know nothing.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to be like that. Well, go read a fucking book. Go learn some science. How about that? You know?
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's just like, not everything is like, science can't explain everything that we experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of people think, well, there's an explanation to all of this, and there is no fucking explanation to this shit. That's why the fuck we're trying to do it to figure out an explanation. But in the last 50 fucking years, we're not any closer to coming up with an explanation or an answer to any of it. But then you go to Facebook, and Demon Hunter from Illinois has the fucking some powder and some.
Oh my God! Look at all the morbs.
Fucking holy water. You know what I mean? That's the solution. You know what I mean? And you're just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Like, you think spraying some holy water, some anointment oil, some crystals, this shit's going to help. You're going to get rid of something and we fucking have no understanding of it. We have absolutely no understanding of how the fucking phenomena occurs, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, what's its capabilities. We have no idea.
Well, and I also want to say, on the flip side of these people that think everything's paranormal, you also can go look up plenty of shit on YouTube where you have people that believe nothing is paranormal. And they piss me off because they're just fucking armchair quarterbacks.
Yeah.
They're just sitting behind their computer. They've never been on a paranormal investigation. They probably shit themselves if they ever saw anything. You know what I'm saying? And like, so how can you sit here and tell me that this shit doesn't exist and that I'm stupid for doing it when you've never even gone out and tried?
Exactly.
You know, okay, come on a real paranormal investigation and then tell me what you think about it. Go out and investigate 10 times with 10 different teams that are serious. And then come online and tell me why we're full of shit.
Yeah.
You know, so there's people on both sides, but those people piss me off just as well. You know, like there is a happy medium. There is a happy, true medium.
Yeah.
And that's, where we're at, trying to maintain that of, throwing shit out that, okay, well, maybe that was paranormal, but we can explain it. So we're going to throw it out. Yeah. And y'all are the same as me. You probably throw out more real evidence than you probably ever let in. Because you say, okay, well, I don't know where so-and-so was, so I can't account for that EVP. So I don't know if that was a voice,
right.
Because you'd have to throw that shit out because if you can't prove it to yourself that, it's not contaminated or, it's not rattling pipes in the walls or something.
Yeah.
Then you can't count that as evidence. So, just
it's
questionable. Somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
If it's questionable, you can't say it's paranormal.
Right. Exactly.
You really can't. It's got to be to the extreme of you really can't explain what the fuck just happened. Like that XLS video. I cannot fucking explain how something that's touch sensitive moved my fucking camera around, panned around the fucking room, and then went back to the same place where I had it originally. When there's no one in the room. How the fuck does that happen?
Well, and also if it was malfunctioning and moving on its own because of malfunction, then why the hell did the cursor pop up like there's a finger on the screen?
Exactly. Like something is touching the screen.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
the only way that cursor pops up is if there's physical contact to the screen.
Yeah.
You literally got to be touching the screen,
And I think it would have been doing the same like action. And
I've never had it happen
something before. Internal, you know what I mean?
Right.
It would have been doing the same, like a loop kind of a thing.
Yeah. And it wouldn't have gone back to about the same camera angle that it began at.
Yeah.
Right.
When it's just randomly moving around. It's not like you can program it to, move certain ways or shit. I mean,
right.
Yeah. When you set that down, it's just shooting in one direction. Now you can put your finger on the screen, you can move it, you can move the angle of the picture around.
Yeah.
Like you seen it do. That's what it was doing. It literally had to have some kind of physical touch to the screen, and
Right.
move like this, to move that camera around like that. That's what's the
Well,
most amazing thing to me.
Well, and like touch screens, they don't really use your physical touch. They actually use the electromagnetic energy that
Yeah,
we give off in our fingers.
yes.
So if that's what we believe that spirits somehow manifest or use as EMF, then why couldn't they fuck with the touch screen if that's what the touch screen is, sensing with all those millions of sensors in the screen?
In a lot of ways, it kind of approves it kind of shows and proves the fact they're using,
I didn't have enough time, but there's another part of the video on the XLS. They had a cat in the house with us. There was a cat there. So the cat, in one part of the XLS, when you're looking down the hallway, the cat is sitting in front of the bathroom, right? So a lot of shit comes out of the bathroom. They see it coming out of the bathroom all the time, whatever this thing is. So the cat is sitting in front of the bathroom. And then the fucking cat goes up on two legs, straight up in the air, and looks like he gets pulled into the bathroom. Like something lifts him up. I shit you not. I didn't have time to put it on here. But, dude,
wow.
I'm telling you, man, it's fucking crazy. I'm like, what the fuck? The cat went up on two legs and just like something, like, you know how you pick a cat up and
you pick them up under their front legs.
Dude, it fucking looks like that. Dude, it looks like
That's
that.
wild.
Like, whoa, dude, like, what is that? I want to put it on my big TV so I can really look at it really good instead of on my little 20-inch laptop,
Yeah.
But I want to put it on my 80-inch TV and fucking look at it like really close to see what I'm looking at, But it looks like something lifts the cat up and
that's crazy.
Pulls it in the fucking bathroom. Yeah. And I'm like,
dude,
well, the fact, I mean, and like you're saying, the fact that it's like somebody picked it up, because the way cats like slink out, they seem to get longer as you
this is what happens. You see the cat get longer, and it's like, and then it's in the bathroom. And you're like,
wow.
I'm looking at it and what is that? It's like,
that's a trip.
Cats don't just stand up on their fucking back legs like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
no.
Yeah.
It was almost like someone picked it up and then it just went into the bathroom,
Yeah.
Fucking weird, man. I'm like, this place is freaky as dog shit. That's creepy as shit, man. It is, dude. To play, and it's little. It's not like it's fucking huge. It's really little.
Yeah.
It's like living room, bathroom, bedroom, kitchen, all like right on one floor. You could take 2 cameras and shoot the whole thing.
Yeah.
So what else I did too was, I think a lot of times like these things can see our cameras, and it's like if you interrupt the path of these things, you don't get a lot of activity. You know what I mean? Like if whatever these things are, they travel a certain way, right? Like say they see it come out of the bathroom and then it goes into the living room. Now, if you put a camera there, you're not going to see anything anymore. Like it disrupts the path. Because I figured this out in Newcastle. They had their bed a certain way, right? So they would see this woman coming in the room, this woman in black. She had like a veil, no face, but she would come in the room a certain way. And when they moved their bed into the path of where she would come in, they didn't see her anymore. But then when they moved their bed back, they started seeing her again.
See, I told you it's a fucking feng shui ghost. The feng shui was off, and when they put their bed in the right feng shui, she stopped coming in to tell them their feng shui is off.
It's fucking weird, man. Like disrupt the path. So what I started doing, I started buying spy cameras. I bought 2 spy cameras. They look like alarm clocks, and they get a camera inside of them. So I'm starting to set those up to see if they can see these cameras or they can't. You know what I mean? I don't want to get anything in the way of their path that they travel or the energy that they travel along. I'm feeling if we break that path, that we're not going to experience what they're seeing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because usually we got fucking cameras everywhere, and it's just like,
sure.
Can they see the cameras sitting there?
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of times we get a lot of shit on video. I've gotten some pretty incredible shit on video, but it's not like fucking millions of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Most
not
of
like
my
you go,
most of my shit's EVPs and like picture anomalies.
yeah.
Way
I've
more
caught
than video. I mean,
I've caught
we caught stuff on video, but way more on still pictures and stuff. Yeah.
I've caught 3 cool ass things on video. 2 doors opening up, which was at Rockford, the piano store, and then I caught that black mass up in Ephrata. And now this XLS shit has really been taking off, like catching some really weird shit. And the
Yeah, it's
one
a game
case me
changer.
and Tom
Yeah.
did in Gettysburg, back in was it November? December? It was December.
Mhm.
This lady was holding a K2. The fucking K2 was going crazy. There's no wires anywhere. Like I'm not a K2 person. I'm not the meter person.
Yeah.
Like I'm not into all that shit. I'm strictly video, audio evidence. You know,
Yeah.
guys. Like Tom uses a K2. I don't use it. You're never gonna see me with one in my hand. And
Yeah, me either. I don't like it.
she's holding it, and it's fucking going back and forth, back and forth. And I have the XLS. It's on her, and this figure pops up on the wall in front of her, and it's kind of reaching out like to the K2, and the fucking K2's going off. And I'm like, and it's there for like, I don't know, what was it, a couple minutes, Tom?
Yeah, it was.
It was there, dude.
It was really weird.
And the whole time the K2 is going ballistic, you know, and it's in front of her. She's in the hallway. It's like on the wall, reaching out to literally like it has his hand on the K2, and the K2 is going fucking ballistic. And I'm just looking, I'm like, what is that? You know what I mean? Like, it just stayed there. And then all of a sudden, it just disappeared, you know?
I've seen, it's not that I don't believe that K2s and EMF meters work. I just think they're too fallible. With errant, like even like CB radio signals and things like that can set them off. But I have seen them, and I definitely don't like REM pods because they're way too easy to set off with a walkie-talkie or something like that. But I have seen with like a millimeter, you know, that has the digital readout of EMF. There's been a couple times where I found like a ball of EMF, and it's not coming from the walls, not coming from the floor or ceiling, and you can go around this whole ball and see the edges of it. And now I don't know if that's a spirit or not, but it moves. It eventually will move down the hallway.
Sure.
I found this at Thomas' house twice. So if it was anything that was coming, any radio signals or any wiring, that's impossible, because you would feel like you would get it coming from the wall, the floor, whatever. But the fact that it's just this freestanding ball, oval shape, 3D is really weird.
And that's the weird thing is that's what's going on in this house in Gettysburg. It was like everything was like shoulder high in the middle of the room. It was just the weirdest damn thing. And it would be there and it'd be gone. And then we go in another room and suddenly there it was. It was the weirdest damn thing. The whole night was that way.
Yeah. There was no EMF up in the air. There was none down at the floor, but it was at mid-level.
It was the weirdest thing.
And there was no wiring anywhere. You know, like looking around for wiring and shit. And I'm like, there's no wiring. Like, I don't see anything in the walls. There's no light switches over on that side.
Yeah.
There's no wiring running.
Well, EMF and radio waves, they don't, I mean, they're not linear. They go out in 360 degrees. Like, so if you have a Wi-Fi modem or CB radio or like a walkie-talkie, cell phone, all that, it's not, you know, even a car radio, like your FM AM stereos, that's not like, it's not like a straight line, you know, from the radio station to your radio in your car.
Right.
It's just throwing it out in 360 degrees, and you're picking it up. Your cell phone's the same way. You know, your cell phone is a giant antenna.
Holy
it's
shit,
a giant antenna. There's a huge antenna curled up in here that's probably 50 feet long. That's grabbing that signal and sending out that signal. So for it to be in a linear fashion, that's weird. In a certain level, and that's really weird.
Yeah, it wasn't like, it wasn't high, it wasn't low. It was just like this, like shoulder high, like Tom said. And it just stayed there, and then it would just disappear. And you're like, what the fuck? How is that?
Yeah, the whole night. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if it's paranormal. I even told him, I was like, I don't know if that's paranormal or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we did catch that anomalous figure, and I'm still on the fence. Was that a ghost? Was it? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have anything weird happen. I didn't feel any cold spots. I didn't feel any static. It didn't touch any of us, So, but we did get EVPs out of there,
and we had that weird experience where we would get that hit on the one blouse. Remember that her mom's?
Oh yeah, that was our mom's
blouse. Yeah, it was the weird thing. Like it was just her blouse. You put like a K2 on it to start going nuts. Just the one shirt.
Huh.
It was weird. It was really weird.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of goofy.
I want to. Before we get off here, I got these pictures pulled up from the prison, and I want to see what y'all think about them.
Yeah.
Let me. I'm going to share my screen. All right, so this is the stairwell that I was talking about, and there's picture number 2, and there's picture number 3.
Uh-oh, I don't see any of them.
I don't see it.
You're
not seeing them. It's supposed to be sharing. It's supposed to be sharing.
There we go.
There it goes.
Okay. Yep.
All right, let me get back. All right, so there's picture number 1.
Okay.
Picture number 2, I slightly changed a little bit, but these are all in a row. And then number 3.
That's weird.
You can still see the steps and the rail.
Yeah.
So if this was motion blur, and I snapped these all 3 in a row really quickly, right?
Yeah.
If this was motion blur, why can you still see the steps? And also, my big thing is, you have this red ladder and platform.
Right.
There would be red streaks, wouldn't there?
Yeah. It's not there. That's weird.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it's anything I don't know if it's paranormal or not. I just know it's weird.
Yeah, I've got that on something like that on my phone too. That
that almost looks like the one you did in Minersville, Tom.
Yeah, it does.
But my photographer friend, who's been a photographer for 30 years, she told me, and she don't do anything paranormal. She's pretty religious, Christian lady. But she told me she's the one that used the word time slip. So I was like, well, that's an interesting take.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what the hell is that on the right? Is that?
I was just looking at that.
That's that thing on the wall right there. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Right there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the paint. Paint's peeling off. Yeah.
But you don't see anything else up there. That's really blurred out.
That's really weird, man.
And I did not take these with flash. I actually had a flashlight, so there was no flash going off to blur anything or do anything weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then
weird.
Can you see this other screen?
I just see the picture.
I just see that one picture.
Okay. You're still seeing the stairway picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get rid of that. Let me bring this one up. I should have sent these to you before.
That's right.
All right. I think you have to approve it, John.
Yeah. Yep. There it is.
All right. So you see this. This is the hole. All right. Okay. So these are the cells. I'm standing at the back of the hole. This is in the basement.
Okay.
And they only have there's 5 cells to the left. This is a basement outside wall on the right of the picture, and there's only one little window there. So once again, I'm using a flashlight. The green glow is because the flashlight is green aluminum. Okay. And so when you zoom the flashlight in, because it has one of those telescopic lenses on it.
Yeah.
So when you zoom the flashlight in, it reflects off that green. So that's where the green glow comes from. And then there's the third one. But see, everything down at the bottom and at the top and the sides is all in focus. So that I would believe the stair picture was motion blur before I believe this one is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because why is just the center of the picture blurry?
What kind of camera are you using, Eric?
It's my cell phone camera, and I've never had it do these type of weird shots before, and had 2 in the same night.
Yeah.
Sony, my handheld Sony, when it's trying to focus into something that's there, like,
well,
and if I'm filming something and there's like nothing there, it'll start trying to focus in on something like it's there, like there's something there that's not there. So, I'm not saying that it's not a ghost, but I'm saying that maybe it's trying to focus in on some kind of energy that's there.
Well, I'm not saying it's a spirit either. But I can tell you all the metadata on all three pictures is exactly the same. So the camera ain't changed, the aperture ain't changed, none of the settings have changed. All the metadata is exactly the same in all three pictures. So I get what you're saying. If it's trying to focus, it's changing the shutter speed, or the how far the iris and stuff. But no, all the metadata is exactly the same. That was the first thing I looked at between the three pictures to make sure that it didn't change the aperture and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It didn't change the light balance, nothing. All the settings on the metadata are exactly the same.
It's interesting, man.
So, yeah, I just thought it was weird that why is it just the middle of the picture blurry?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. So that was the only part of the prison that felt really heavy.
Go back one. Now go back to your third one. There's like a weird, that's just been a shadow, but up above the doorway there on the left, you see that, and then it's like not there.
Yeah.
That might just be my eyes, but
this is the only place that we felt like the energy was heavy.
Yeah.
But like I'm saying, I mean, if there's a photographer out there that can explain these to me, I'll take the explanation and throw it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not putting it out there as evidence. I'm just saying I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never had that type of photo anomaly before. Another one that we've gotten, and the only place that we've ever gotten this photo anomaly ever, and it's 5 different cameras have captured this, is at the Thomas house. Pictures are grayed out, but just one part of the picture. So like somebody's face will be grayed out, like you took and just made their face black and white in the picture. I have a series of pictures that I took in a mirror, and I didn't catch anything in the mirror, but there's a fucking pink chair off to the right that you watch this gray mass grow, and the chair turns gray. And then by the time, and there's like 13 or 15 pictures. By the time I get to the last picture, it's gone, and the chair's pink.
No shit.
That was I caught those two with 2 different cell phones. There have been 3 other people with a digital camera, taking pictures with a camcorder, and another cell phone that has caught the grayed out shit too at Thomas house. I've never had it happen anywhere else but Thomas house. And none of us investigators have ever had our cameras that we've used do anything grayed out anywhere else. If it was a glitch in the camera, right?
Yeah.
And also across 5 different cameras and 3 different types: cell phone, a camcorder taking pictures, and a digital camera.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And one of the craziest ones is David, the owner, is sitting at the end of a table. And this is the very first one that was ever caught like this, as my investigative buddy Lee. The owner, David, sitting at the end of the table, and it looks like his face is grayed out, but it looks like there's another face on top of his.
Wow. That's interesting, dude, because what you're talking about sounds almost like what Dr. Barry Taft experienced in the entity case. They would take pictures of this woman and that was supposedly getting raped by the ghost.
Yeah.
And her face would be fucking bleached out. Everything else would be perfectly clear in the picture.
Yeah.
But her face would be bleached out white. And that you would see it move from the picture like it would be bleached out white. And as she said, I feel like it's getting away from me. And they would steadily take pictures, and you could see it gradually in every picture, like moving away from her until it was clear.
Another thing, talking about that right there, her face is like bleached out. My buddy Lee was up on, they have a little stage in the dining room that we show evidence and talk to people at Thomas house. And he was standing up there, and he's bent over the computer because he's going through a slideshow and talking to people. And he asked me to stand at the back of the room and take pictures. One picture of him it looks like you took and just erased his face. Like it's his face is all skin tone. All the features are gone.
That's weird.
And to get that much motion blur, he would have to move his head impossibly
like
fast.
This and shit. Yeah.
Right.
Impossibly fast.
Like the fucking Matrix or some shit.
Yeah. And you can tell there's a little bit of motion blur because his hat. But you can still see the bill of his hat, and you still see there's writing on his hat, but you can't read the writing. So there's a little bit of motion blur where he was moving his head, but why the fuck is his whole face erased?
That's weird.
And people have accused me of photoshopping it, and I'm like, no. The only thing I did was zoom in. That's the only thing I did was crop it to zoom in on him, because the original photo I was at the back of the room, and you see all the people sitting in the chairs, in front of the stage. And when I caught that picture, all I did was zoom in, and that's the only picture I've ever gotten like that too. Insane. And that was at Thomas' house.
That's wild. That's crazy.
That was fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my big thing is fucking, for whatever reason, photo anomalies. That's what I get the most of.
Yeah, I get a fuck ton of EVPs, man. I don't know what it is, man, but like I can just listen. Like somebody could send me something, like they done went through the whole fucking thing, so now I didn't get anything. I can go through that same audio and pull out all kinds of shit within the audio that they never even heard.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. And I'm like, yeah, it's fucking in there, dude. You got to really listen to everything, because these things use our voice reverberations. They use fucking just standard noises, like you fucking rubbing on a piece of cloth to produce voice phenomena, man. It's fucking crazy how they do it, but they do it. People say, oh, that's just the cloth making a voice. I was like, how can a cloth make a fucking voice, dude? Like, say helper or get out or a name. Like, that's no.
Yeah.
It's using that reverberal noise to create vocalization. How they harness it, I don't know.
Like Dave was saying in the chat earlier, he has recorders going while he's setting up, and he gets EVPs. Yeah, and that's when I found
all the time.
When I get the best EVPs is when we're just bullshitting, but we have a recorder running, or if we're in a historical place, we're commenting on some of the history or reading plaques and things, and they will fucking chime in.
Yep.
And comment on what you're saying, or if you're just talking about your life, I've had them chime in and say things.
Yeah.
Or even laugh at you when you're if you say something, they're have them laughing at you. But
just a fucking car going by, they use that too. I've had that happen in cases where the cars are going by on the street, and dude, the car goes by, and you hear a voice say the girl's name that lives there. I was like, what the fuck? It was so clear. The car goes by, right at the ass end, like you created this Doppler effect kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you hear, it say the girl's name. And I'm like, it used that to fucking vocalize. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How they harness it to do it that's the most amazing part about it is we don't know. But
that's why I'm a fan of the Estes method, because I think listening to that static, I think they can manipulate that too. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, they definitely manipulate static without a doubt.
Yeah. And I think some people are better. I can't never get anything to happen the Estes method, but also I'm fucking ADD, like I was telling y'all. And it's hard for me to just sit there without moving and listening. You know what I'm saying? My mind's going 8,000 miles an hour, and I got 18 thoughts going on. I'm not paying attention. So it doesn't really work for me. But I know other people that works really well, and I've seen some crazy shit with the Estes method. One of the things, I don't know if I ever told you this, John, at Thomas' house, I hate to keep going back there, but lots of shit happens there. Thomas' house, we had a girl doing Estes method one night, and she had never been there, and she said something about carvings on a stone under a tree. Well, I've never heard anything about that on the property, right? I've been there 10 fucking times, never heard anything from the owners. We know the owners really well. We know the history really well. Been there so many times. So the next morning I said, yeah, we'll have to make sure tomorrow, because everybody spends the night because it's bed and breakfast. Everybody gets their own room. Everybody will be there in the morning. You don't have to check out till 11, and they serve you breakfast. So anyway, everybody's there the next morning. So we go and ask the owner, and the owner's like, oh my God, I haven't thought about that since we moved in here 30 years ago. He said that big oak tree out there that we had to have cut down, and this fucking oak tree, the trunk is 8 foot across. I'm not joking. You can climb down into some bitch.
That's a big ass tree.
Old oak tree.
Wow.
And it had fallen in the storm, and luckily it fell downhill. And the fucking thing was probably 120 feet tall. But anyway,
wow.
He said that a big oak tree out there, when we moved in here, there was a stone at the base of it that had the Cloyd brothers and their families' names carved in it. And they're the ones that built the Thomas. They're the Cloyd family built the Thomas house. It was originally the Cloyd Hotel. And he's like, I ain't thought about that in 30 years. He's like, let alone tell anybody about it.
Right.
And that came through the Estes method, and she was dead on. It was carvings on a stone under a tree. And then It's at the Old Southern Jail in Franklin, Kentucky. And you also investigate the Simpson County Archives and Museum across the street. And it's a 2-story building. So they have museum exhibits in there from all over like Franklin, Kentucky's history. And so have a little girl, have a family there, mom, dad, son, and 2 daughters. And all 3 kids were teenagers. Well, the youngest wanted to do the SS method. So she didn't want to stay by herself in the dark. So her mom went and sat with her, but her mom was calling out what she was saying. And we were in a separate room where she couldn't hear the questions.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the name Harriet and something about a dresser and a mirror. So I'm like, well, I don't know of any Harriet, but we're also in a museum. There's museum exhibits, so it could be connected to anything around here, you know.
Well, yeah.
So we get done investigating up there to take a break after about 45 minutes to an hour and go downstairs and ask Billy, the guy who runs the place, and he's the main archivist. He runs the museum, does all the exhibits. I said, anything to do with Harriet and a dresser and a mirror. And come to find out, Harriet was the second wife of the guy who owned Octagon Hall, which is only 5 miles down the road. I don't know if you ever heard of Octagon Hall.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Octagon Hall's 5 miles down the road. So Harriet was the name of the second wife of the guy who owned Octagon Hall, and her dresser and mirror were in an exhibit upstairs from Octagon Hall.
Get the hell out. Wow.
That's cool.
So she was there.
That's really cool.
But it used to be that upstairs of the museum was a garment factory, you know, long before like
OSHA.
rules, OSHA and all that stuff. Like it was a sweatshop from what you get, right? And so we were thinking along the lines of, oh, did you work, you know, here making shirts? And, you know, it was a garment factory. She was adamant and like it seemed like she was getting irritated on the through the SS method that we weren't giving her due. Like she was higher class than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the nose got more and more angry is what it seemed like. But yeah, it was very interesting, especially to get the name that correlated to something. And I didn't know that was up there, you know?
Yeah,
And
sure.
I damn sure didn't know the second wife, the first name of the second wife of the guy who owned Octagon Hall. You know?
Yeah,
So,
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I would. Yeah. What are you talking about? Yeah.
I mean, I've investigated Octagon Hall once before, but you know, so yeah, that was interesting. So the SS method, yeah, I think is very interesting. And to have 2 people doing it at the same time, and I've seen them talk to each other.
That's
You
weird.
ever tried that? That's crazy.
Never tried it.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever tried the SS method. I don't think.
No. This has been great, Eric, having you on here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
It's always a good conversation with you.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It's about just being honest about what we're doing, man. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
Fuck the game show shit. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
like a fucking game show half the time with these people.
That's right.
Man. I'd rather you be honest with me and we do honest shit together than live in a fucking fantasy land of bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, dude, this isn't fantasy land. This is
Right.
This is what we're doing, dude. Like, why do it if you're gonna lie to yourself? You
That's
know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah. There's one
Makes
YouTuber.
sense.
There's one YouTuber that I've seen that and I forget his name, but 3 different videos that he's done, he's had chairs stack themselves in 3 different locations. So
Yeah,
he
sure.
was at Brushy Mountain in the cafeteria where there's no chairs and tables anymore. So he had to put them chairs and table there, right? Well, he turns around and when he pans back, the chairs are stacked on top of the table. So the same thing happens in supposedly a private residence, which is just an Airbnb they rented to shoot their video in. He starts to go up the stairs and hears something behind him, and he turns around and the dining room chairs are stacked. And then it happens in another place. And I'm like, and y'all people still watch this shit and believe that that's real?
Yeah. No.
It happened. Okay, I might believe one time, but 3 at 3 different locations, and it always happens when he pans the camera and then pans back, like magically.
Yeah.
He's never caught it on camera.
Yeah. He's
Like if I had
editing
that happen fucking once in one location, I would film every fucking dining room chair and tables for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Right.
To get it on, to see if I could get it on film. So
Right.
it's just shit like that amazes me with talking about the fake drama shit. Y'all people believe this is like, why can't these YouTubers just come out and say this is entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Because
might
none
as
of them,
well.
yeah, well, none of them know how to investigate either, anyway.
No.
Like
Yeah.
Sam and Colby, those kids, you know who those kids are?
Yeah.
Younger guys. They have millions of subscribers. They have one of the biggest YouTube channels on the planet. They started out doing urban exploring. They had nothing to do with the paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
They got caught trespassing, and one of them almost went to prison. And he ended up getting, I think, probation and had to spend like 6 months in jail or some shit, right?
Holy
Instead
shit,
of getting
okay.
like 3 years of prison. So, because they like, I don't want to say the story wrong, but I think they trespassed on like federal property or something. So it was like a serious trespassing charge.
Yeah, that's dumb.
So after they decided they didn't want to go to jail, they were trying to figure out what they were going to do to save their YouTube channel, because that's how they make their money, right? They make $100,000 a year on YouTube. And because they had millions of subscribers back then too, with just the urban exploration stuff and trespassing all the time. So they decided, this is their own words on Joe Rogan. They decided because they could rent out paranormal places that they would become paranormal investigators and do paranormal. They've never once investigated with any other paranormal team. They never once had any interest in the paranormal other than for it to make them money. So they can keep the lifestyles that they have and the subscribers they have. They switch to the paranormal because they can rent a place out and don't have to trespass.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And people still believe they're real. Like what they're doing is real paranormal investigating.
If you go to YouTube, man, you can watch all the fucking demonic videos you want. There's about a fucking zillion of them on there.
The thing that's got me lately, and y'all probably seen my post bitching about it, is skinwalkers. Skinwalkers don't fucking exist anywhere other than the Midwest in the United States. That is a Navajo tribe thing.
That's a Navajo tribe.
Right. A Navajo shaman has to do certain things to turn into a skinwalker.
Yeah.
They don't fucking exist in England. I've seen videos in England where they say, this house, we found a skinwalker at this house. No, you didn't. It might be, there might be other shapeshifters, but I guarantee it's not a fucking skinwalker.
No.
And that culture appropriation shit is getting on my nerves too. Like that's the culture, right, of those people. It has nothing to do with you in England, you know.
Right.
We're not coming over and saying that. I'm not saying that some place is haunted by a fucking leprechaun and appropriating Irish culture. Yeah, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like the Navajo Nation has their own police that hunt fucking skinwalkers.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have their own fucking police, dude, that hunt skinwalkers. They've actually documented fucking skinwalkers in their vehicles. They escaped.
Yeah.
They had these fucking two police officers talked about it where they had the guy locked up. He broke the fucking handcuffs, kicked the fucking door off, and he was running faster than the fucking police car at 50 miles an hour, and he ran off into the desert and they never caught him.
Yeah. You should listen to the episode I did with Ryan Burns.
I gotta check that out.
His ranch that he owns out there in Utah, he shares a fence line with Skinwalker Ranch.
Is that the frog something?
No, he's not Blind Frog Ranch. No.
Blind Frog, yeah, that's what it was.
No. Ryan Burns, man, some of the shit that's happening on his property is fucking crazy. He picked up a skinwalker one time that was like a little frail old man, and you'll have to go listen to the podcast because I don't remember exactly the story, but it was crazy, and he is pretty sure it was a skinwalker because of the way that he felt, and like he's missing like 6 hours after this thing got in the car with him and shit.
What the hell is his name?
Ryan Burns.
Ryan Burns.
I just did an episode with him a couple months ago.
You did an episode with him?
Yeah. He's
sweet.
The shit that's happened on his property and the shit that we talk about is fucking crazy. But he's believable and like straightforward guy too.
All right, when we going down there?
Well, he told me if I ever get out that way to let him know. He splits half his time. He splits half his time in Las Vegas and half his time in Utah, where his ranch is. But
I'm going.
I'm down.
Fucking vacay, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. We're going to the Utah Basin. What's my theory on Bigfoot? Dave says. I think Bigfoot is a flesh and blood creature. I tend to agree with the North American Wood Ape Conservancy. I think that makes the most sense. I think the cloaking ability that they supposedly have, I think that's a time slip that we're seeing Bigfoot from past. And my whole thing on that is when you see a bear in the woods, you don't go up and poke it in the ass to make sure it's real, do you? You just say, oh, fuck, there's a bear. I'm getting the fuck out of here, right?
Well, the
and people
Grizzly
just
Man did that, but he didn't survive it.
right, they freaking ate him. Yeah. But I think there's enough. I mean, we have mountain lions and bears around here where I live, but you never see them. Because they're such small populations. The Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, which is our game wardens in Tennessee, they for 5 years they would not admit that we have mountain lions back in Tennessee until so many people had trail cam footage of fucking mountain lions in Middle Tennessee. They finally had to come out and do a press conference and say maybe we were wrong. And last year alone, they didn't believe that black bears were moving back in. People spotting black bears back in Middle Tennessee. Well, last year, within the same month, 2 separate people got cell phone video of black bears in downtown fucking Nashville. In 2 different areas.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So if you can have those animals around, and it took the black bears getting into downtown Nashville where there's lots of people, right, to actually see them.
Right.
Well, that means they're already here, right? And I live in the woods outside of Nashville. There's thousands of acres behind my house that aren't touched, right? Except for maybe power lines or something. So if black bears are already here and their population is getting big enough that they're moving into fucking downtown Nashville, then why couldn't there be small populations of Bigfoot creatures that survive that survive the ice age and it's just and if they're smart enough too, I mean if they're half as smart as humans are, and apes and monkeys and chimpanzees are smart as fuck, and if they're even half that smart, maybe they stay away from people. We didn't even discover that there were silverback gorillas until the 1930s.
Really?
Yeah.
And they were a myth. They were a myth.
That's true.
Right? Just like Bigfoot in the jungles over in Asia, they were a myth. So because there's really small populations of them. But they're big enough populations that they keep the species alive. So especially when you talk about the Appalachian Mountains, when you talk about the Pacific Northwest, there's millions and millions and millions of untouched acreage. And there's so many places that man has never set foot out in Oregon and Washington and up into Canada.
Yeah.
They can freely roam and nobody ever sees them.
I'm from Oregon. I can definitely attest to that.
Yeah. And then people are always like, well, why haven't we found a body? Go find a bear carcass. Go find a deer carcass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're asshole deep in Tennessee in deer, and people hit them all the time. And we have huge hunting seasons because deer are so bad because they're so overpopulated. But unless somebody hits one on the road, you never see a deer carcass in the woods.
No, I've never seen one.
So yeah, that's so that's my take on Bigfoot anyway, that I believe Bigfoot is a real creature.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
Too many sightings, man. Like too many sightings. Just people are seeing that shit for 100%. Government just don't want people to get all fucking freaked out over shit like that, Just like
there's
and shit.
Well, talking about the government, there's some missing 401 stories in some of the national parks where the FBI does not investigate missing persons unless it goes across state lines, right? Kidnapping or whatever. They don't go into national parks but there's stories where they've shown up and basically shut down search and rescue for people.
Really?
They've done the same thing in Canada. There's some stories up there, the RCMP coming in and shutting down search and rescue for people and running people out of the area. And like, okay, do they know something we don't? Like, is there something dangerous in the area? Like, like a Bigfoot or something that they're worried about?
Yeah.
There's some weird shit like that. So, and it's not like the FBI showing up in mass. You're talking about 2 or 3 agents that show up and take over the scene and tell people to fucking leave, So it's not like they're out there helping search for the people,
Yeah.
Just keeping everybody away. Yeah.
Yeah. There's weird shit like that. But yeah, Bigfoot. Definitely believe Bigfoot is real.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, man, I don't want to keep you all night, Eric, man. It's like 11 something.
Nah, it's only quarter after 10 my time. I'm an hour behind you.
That's right, you are an hour behind me.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming on with us tonight, bro. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. It's always fun.
Yeah, I got to get you up here, go investigate with us.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I definitely want to come back up that way. Yeah. Yeah, we had a blast in Gettysburg, and we definitely have to come back up that way. Just next time we're flying and not driving. So it's a 12-hour fucking drive. And the Shenandoah Valley was beautiful.
Oh, it is.
Driving back, it was like fucking torture because I'm like, I just want to be home, and it's a fucking 12-hour drive.
Yeah. That sucks. You're excited going there, but then when you fucking gotta leave, you're like, this fucking blows.
Everything was new scenery on the way up there, and on the way back, you're like, fuck, I just want to be home. I've seen it. I've fucking seen the Shenandoah Valley. We've been in it for 8 hours now. It's like the Twilight Zone. Are we ever gonna get out of the Shenandoah Valley?
and I knew exactly what was going on. Roger was driving, and you were like this.
For the most part, yeah.
He's probably looking over at you like, you motherfucker.
He already knows the drill. We've been together almost 19 years, so he's used to my shit by now.
Shit, that's hilarious. He's probably looking over at you, son of a bitch, you.
No, we actually traded up driving on the way back. On the way up there, he pretty much drove all the way up there because we drove it during the day. We came back home at night just to make it easier on traffic and everything. And we traded up every 2 hours driving home at night. So neither one of us fall asleep or get sleepy. So I did drive on the way home.
You coming to the bash again?
No.
Dude.
you don't want to know my thoughts on the Gettysburg Battlefield bash.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh shit.
But yeah, thank you for having me. It's always fun to come and chat. And I think it's awesome that now we know that because I have StreamYard too, that we can just broadcast, take over the fucking internet. Take over YouTube and Facebook with our channels.
Fucking right.
Nice.
Awesome, dude. I love it. I didn't know it did that either. That must be something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
It's cool.
But the hell. But yeah, man, thanks for coming on with us, bro. Let's do it again soon, bro.
Yeah, I need to get y'all back on the Unseen Paranormal to chat about new cases and stuff and what y'all got going on, and we'll do that here soon.
Maybe night some evidence or something. Let some people see some cool evidence and shit.
Yeah. I've been trying to do a live stream once a month just to do a little video stuff with the Unseen Paranormal. So maybe next time we'll just do it on my channel and I'll run it and we can throw up y'all's the evidence and stuff.
Yeah. Man, I'll just send it to you and you just plug it in and let people check it out,
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, my brother. Well, man, we're going to get up out of here. Everybody have a great weekend and a safe weekend if you're at snow. And we will see you guys on the flip side.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have a good night. Stay safe.
Have a good night, everybody. Good weekend.